Welcome back, everyone. Once again, Bruce Byam, Mike Muscarello, and Howie Neal. And I omitted our statistician, and I was chastised very rudely for that. Ronna Berman, and we thank you as always for supplying us with future numbers that I know will be great. Mike, the captains are out there, and coin toss to start this game.
Well, we're going to take a while to read off the captains.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get them all for you.
We got a whole bunch of guys out there. But,
we sure do.
I was looking in the program earlier. I said, it can't be right. It can't be 6 captains. But there's one for every team, special teams, offense, defense, everything you can think of.
We will try to do the best we can tonight with numbers. This is new for us. Some of the players are wearing their game jerseys or numbered that they wore during the regular season, but some of them have changed. So we'll certainly try to keep up with the numbers, the players. And the Merrimack Valley's won the toss, and they're going to receive it. So we're going to play 11-minute quarters tonight. Once again, the wind, very little factor. Teams are just about ready to do this, and to bring you the play-by-play, all the action in the first quarter. Mike, it's all yours.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, and I'm looking forward to what's going to be a great night of football. MVC is going to get it first. They're going to be wearing their whites, traveling left to right across your TV screen. We'll see the Middlesex League on defense. And Howie, let's talk about the MVC on offense. Just looking at some of the box scores throughout the fall, you got a bunch of good running backs, and you've got a pretty good offensive team that's come here tonight. It's mostly all seniors, so you may have left out a couple of guys who are underclassmen, but there's some skilled kids on this team.
Oh yes, starting right with the quarterback, Bruce Rich. He's been the Chelmsford quarterback since his sophomore year. Has played a lot, knows the offense quite well. Obviously sits across from Dad at breakfast and talks about it. He's got 2 Chelmsford running backs behind him, Bobby Brown, Dave Leach, one of the top premier backs in the area. And then he has a lot of people in the offensive line that are from Chelmsford. I think Higgins, Chris Higgins, is it? The center for Chelmsford is there as well, so that let's see.
It'll be interesting, Howie, to see whether or not they kick to David Leach. Many teams during the season, Mike, elected to kick away from him, to kick short. And David didn't get a chance to return too many footballs, so we'll see what happens.
Well, they've got David and Pope from Barica there, and Pope is very quick as well. Just trying to... Danny Pope, I got to remember the first names here. Yeah, Danny, he had a very nice Thanksgiving game against Chelmsford. He was quite quick, a good receiver. And so if they kick away from David, Danny can very well break one as well.
Ryan Kelly, number 7 from Woburn, has it up on the tee, and the 11th annual Carole Classic is underway, and here is Pope at about the 10. And he took a pop at about the 28-yard line, rather, and that's one thing you will see and you hear all night. You got some guys who have been chomping at the bit since Thanksgiving Day to whack somebody again.
Right. Some of these players will be going on to play into college, and others, this is their last football game, so there'll be some good hitting.
Well, that is the reality that hits a lot of these guys right near the end of the game, and this is the last time they're wearing their school colors.
That's right. Let's see if we can get you the starting backfield here. It is Bruce Rich, it is Bobby Brown at fullback, number 9, and Dave Leach, number 21, as his tailback. And Kevin Delaney, I believe, is the wide receiver out here in the right, number 8.
Little razzle-dazzle on the first play, and the Middlesex League not fooled. Joe Quietek, left defensive end out of Reading High School, stayed home and makes the play for a loss.
Ball
back to the 23-yard line.
Second down on about 15.
It's almost too bad that Leach pitched that, because he looked like he had a lot of room on the sideline.
He pitched it off to Danny Pope. Let's see if we can get the starting the offensive line here. It's going to be...
Here is Brown on the counter, and nothing doing again.
Right.
Scott Miller, 52, from Reading High School, along with Mark Baggiati out of Burlington there on the stop. 3rd and long for the MVC.
Quick trap, supposed to be a quick trap up the middle, and there wasn't much much luck there for the MVC. They had a lot of, Middlesex had a lot of penetration.
Delaney comes split to the near side, divide backfield with Brown and Leach. Rich back for his first throw, and he goes to the sideline. It's going to be incomplete. Looking for Leach.
All right, nice play
On the
there.
coverage there was Eric Berman out of Lexington High School. It'll be a 4th down and punting situation for the MVC.
Excellent start for the Middlesex League, Mike, defensively.
And,
Well, defense has got to be pretty vanilla in this one, guys. No blitzing.
Right.
You have to play your basic 5-2, and you can double cover. You can change up your secondary coverages. You can play man or zone, but up front it's pretty much vanilla. It's going to be one-on-one
I
battles all
think it's
night.
a 5-2, or you can do a 4-3. One of those are the two defenses you can use, and no blitzing is, as you alluded to, Mike. So pretty vanilla.
McNeil and Dyer. McNeil far side, Dyer near side, back to receive for the Middlesex League, and the punt is fouled off, and it will go out of bounds, and we'll see where they're going to mark it. 31-yard line, short field for the Middlesex League. 9:14 left to play in the first quarter from Varsity Field in Burlington.
We have Chris Bizzotti as the quarterback for the Middlesex squad. Try to get the running backs here. Number 45, Jason Hallett from Melrose. It's a lone setback.
Pizzotti to McNeil on a quick hitch, and McNeil will be very close to a first down.
Right.
You talked about at the start, Howie, we're going to see a complete contrast on offense. Middlesex League, whether it's Pizzotti or Reed, is going to be a lot of 3 and 4 wide receiver sets, a lot of gun, and the MVC is going to be a lot of running back.
Exactly. I don't see any reason why the Middlesex would change with someone of Pizzotti's ability.
Doesn't hurt either when you start on your opponent's 30-yard line.
No.
That certainly helps out.
Hey, the lone setback now, number 11, Dan DeMayo from Woburn.
McNeil far side, Del Russo near side, Pizzotti under pressure. Finds a man across the middle, it's incomplete. But one thing a 6'6" quarterback will give you is the ability to break tackles. We saw it right there, and it looked like Jay Stahl, number 39 out of Central Catholic, had a shot. Pizzotti just shook him off.
And Tony Polari, number 55, also from Central, had good penetration.
Boy, that looked like a blitz.
Tom Sousa kids me because last year on tape I was quoted as saying, boy, it looks like the Middlesex League is blitzing, so I think Tom's going to counter this year and come after him. 4 wide receivers set again. Here's the draw play. Nicely read by number 35.
Bill Fabiano from Tewksbury High School.
Fabiano, a 5'10", 190-pounder on his way to Worcester State next year. Boy, he's got a pretty tough job being the only linebacker, and you got some scat backs in the Middlesex League.
He's used to making stops, Howie, the hockey goaltender.
That's right. He's also the goaltender for Tewksbury, so I don't know if he's going to play football or hockey at Worcester State, or maybe try both. But he's an excellent goalie.
Clock moving, just about 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Middlesex League with a 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Pizzotti back to the outside to McNeil. Knocked out of bounds inside the 10.
At the first down.
Josh Valerio, along with Ryan Silva, on the stop for the MVC. Second first down of the night for the Middlesex League. It looks like they're going to have a goal-to-goal situation. Well, one of the problems they may have is in a short field like this, you go in with the 2 tight ends and the running back. Looks like they're still going to go wide. And we saw that in the run and shoot a long time ago.
Well, here's a double slot. Oh, we had a little procedure, had a reverse.
Well, I'll tell you right now, folks, Tom Kasperzak's not happy, and I can tell because when the hat comes off, the temperature is rising. The question was, did the MVC get the timeout before the ball was snapped? Obviously, Tommy says no, but the guys in the striped shirt said yes, and they count.
Right, they wanted to make a little adjustment as soon as they came out in the actually 5 wides. There was no setback in the backfield. It was
One of the things that's amazing to me, Mike, is that they have basically 10 practices or so, and they get these kids really ready to play, and their organizational skills are just excellent.
Right.
Well, you've got a couple of guys in Rocky Nelson and Tom Souza who have been at this for 11 years, and they have it down to a science. They both do a tremendous job, and it's not easy being the league liaison. And Tommy and Rocky have a lot of kids to contact and a lot of responsibility. And I tell you, the challenge was put to the players back in May at the Carole Classic kickoff breakfast, both as players and as fundraisers, and they have taken the challenge, and they've done a great job. Both sides said their kids have participated very well this year. They've come in prepared, and, well, wouldn't expect anything less.
Right, and you know, as I talking with the Chelmsford or the Merrimack coaches early in the week, and they're working with kids that once you explain the drill once, they know how to do it. Whereas some of the high school teams, they've got kids that haven't played as much, and it takes a while to get the drills down.
Pizzotti goes
Little
to the
fade.
corner to McNeil,
Nice catch.
and he's got it for the touchdown. 7:29 to play in the first quarter. The Middlesex League on top. Well, I talked to Pizzo during the baseball season, and he said, I can't wait for the Carole Classic because I get to throw to some great receivers, and McNeil was the first guy he mentioned.
Right, now McNeil, that's his third reception in this drive, and that was a nice little fade route. It was off of the reverse play that they just ran. And what did they hit, 5 plays, 30 yards? 31 yards, so excellent job. 4 passes out of the 5. And
That was just an excellent catch. He was well defended.
It
but
was.
Just a great
Josh
athlete
Valerio.
making a great play.
Josh Valerio
Great
from
athletes.
Methuen did an excellent job, and McNeil was able to go up after it, showed some rise.
Kelly out of the hold of Pizzotti. Punches it through. Teams head back upfield, 7-0 in the Middlesex League on top. Well, when you talk about high school football, fellas, there are 4 factors from the way I look at it, and field position is one of them. Penalties, turnovers, also a big part of it, but we saw there a short punt and a 30-yard field to work with. These offenses are too good to do that.
That's right, absolutely. And the execution was just phenomenal there by Pizzotti. And as we said, only 10 practices, and yet he's throwing like he's in mid-season form.
Well, let's not forget the big fellas up front, the big uglies as we call them over in Reading. They did a pretty good job of protecting Chris. And it always comes down in games like this to one-on-one battles. You can't blitz, as we talked about before. So you just got to beat up that guy in front of you. Defensively, you've got to make a move and beat that guy and get some penetration. And the offensive line this time for the Middlesex League won the battle.
Sure. Yeah. Pizzotti made some nice reads, hit the open receivers.
Kelly again has it up on the tee. We got a couple of new return men.
I think Joel McCready right there in the end zone.
He's going to bring it out. He gets to the 20-yard line and makes a nice return out to about the 31.
It's Joe McCready from Lowell High School. Had an excellent season for Lowell and an excellent running back.
Number 14, Thurman, MVP, first down.
31-yard line is where the MVC, will actually make it the 30-yard line where the MVC will put it in play.
And we'll see here if the MVC can get something going and get over midfield.
Rich again, the quarterback, with Brown and Leach. Leach looking for the corner and is dragged down at about the 35-yard line. You guys know the story with David Leach. He had an injury during the baseball season. Well, this tape's going to be seen by a lot of folks who don't know David Leach. So why don't you catch us up on what happened with him?
Well, David was playing baseball, was one of the outfielders for the Lions, and he had a collision as a base runner with one of the defenders from Methuen, one of the baseball players from Methuen, and ruptured his spleen and had to be taken to the hospital and had emergency surgery. And he missed about 2.5, 3 weeks of the season and then resumed his baseball career. So he's a tough nut.
Showed a little quickness there. Here's McCready on the counter. And that one took a little bit too long to develop. Quietek there, along with number 53, Jonathan Haruk out of Stoneham High School.
I think, Mike, the MVC has tried to calm this game down a little bit. It's pretty obvious you don't want to give Pizzotti a shot field, and you need a little bit of ball control here, I think, from the MVC.
Right. So you.
What's third down play coming up?
Right
I think,
here
for them.
it is, and I'd look for. I'm just going to guess and say Bruce Rich is looking for Kevin Delaney, number 8, who's going out wide to the left. He's in the slot.
Brown is on the near side. McCready, the lone running back option. And the pumpkin is loose, and the Middlesex League has it. Jonathan Boyer-Dry was the man who made the recovery. I didn't pick up the number of the guy who forced the play on the far side.
No, I didn't either, Mike. It was obviously the defensive end on the far side, but I didn't pick up the number. I thought that the fellow that recovered the fumble there, Patrick, I'm sorry, 61, was it 61?
Yes, it was.
Jonathan, he had a clear field. I thought he was going to pick it up and run.
He had a touchdown.
But,
Isn't that every lineman's dream?
right. He may have forgotten that you can pick up a fumble and run with it now.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the body languages on the sideline, the Middlesex League is just jumping up and down. The Merrimack Valley heads are down a little bit.
Right.
Understandably.
Ben Reed in the quarterback from Burlington High School under duress, and he's going to go down in the arms of number 94.
Is that Corey Shagnon?
Corey Shagnon it is. From Chelmsford High School on his way to URI next year. Lost back to the 29-yard line. Ben Reed, also an outstanding thrower, played his ball right here at Varsity Field in Burlington, had an outstanding career. He sends McNeil to the far side. Dyer in motion. Here is Dyer on the sweep. Gets a good block from McNeil, turns a corner, and he skitters his way down the sideline. Scott Dyer out of Belmont High School.
Excellent quickness when he got to the corner.
Yeah, that was it. Scott's on his way to Nichols College, home of the Bisons.
How or why you know that, I really don't want to know, but...
Well, I had a couple of cousins that played for Nichols, a couple of twin cousins.
All right, I thought you were going Cliff Clavin on us for a minute. From the 6-yard line. And that's Josh Hallett.
He's in for a touchdown.
In for 6. Hallett out of Melrose High School bowls his way in from about 6 yards away with 4:36 to play first quarter. The Middlesex League scores again, now 13-0 with the PAT to come.
Well, the momentum is definitely in the Middlesex bench right now. There's no question about that.
Kelly on once again. Pizzotti will hold. 14-0, the Middlesex League. Well, I talked briefly about the keys in any high school football game of field position and turnovers, and so far those are the two things that have hurt the MVC. And you guys are right. They need to get a couple of first downs and get their legs under. Awful lot of football left in this game.
Definitely an awful lot. But,
what a start, though, Mike, Middlesex League. In 5.5 minutes, they've put 14 points on the board. And just as you alluded to, turnovers and field position, just taking advantage. But you've got to give them credit. They created the turnover, created the field position. They've done a great job.
right.
Kelly will kick it away again, and
It is Pope and Leach.
Leach and Pope, obviously, that Bruce Rich is putting in tandems back to return some
Right.
kicks, and he's hoping that they're not going to get a lot of practice at this.
Right. Absolutely. This is not what we're accustomed to seeing in the MVC. It's nice to see David Leach back there, but only on occasion, not as often as we have so far.
Once a game, that's all you're looking for, right?
That's right. And this is a nice kick.
Pope will come out of
Alex
the
to run
end
it
zone.
out.
across the 20 to the 24-yard line.
They're not kicking the ball. They are kicking the ball deep, but they're obviously avoiding David Leach with the kicks. All three of them now have come to the right side. So smart football.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to let the MVC get in it that easily. They're going to make them work.
Well, folks, if the MVC runs the ball, keep a look on the left side of that offensive line. You've got a couple of behemoths from Bill Ricca playing over there. Let's see if they run left behind those two big fellas.
Yeah.
And
nice tackle there, number 45, Josh Hallett from Melrose.
McCready with a gain of about a yard. I mentioned the two guys from Bill Ricca. Darvish, number 62, 6'4", 320. Whitman, 6'3", 280. He wears number 64. They're pretty easy to pick out.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Rich back to throw.
Delaney on the catch.
And incomplete pass.
Well,
Dan Georgette had the coverage, and look from here like Delaney had his hands underneath, but we're a long way away. Terrific effort by Delaney. Yep.
Might point out too that the officials donating their time and services tonight to this cause, and very nice of them to do that.
It's success because of a lot of different people. Rocky Nelson, Tommy Souza, they get a lot of the credit, but there are a lot of people who work behind the scenes to make this whole game and the organization work.
Right.
Rich back on a 3rd and 9. Has Leach, who came back to it beautifully, and he'll be spun out of bounds around the 37-yard line. That's Kurt Chisholm, I believe, number 6 from Lexington, who made the stop. What a nice job by Leach coming back to receive that
David
ball.
did a nice job. He found the open area and came back for it, just as you mentioned, Mike.
And that was a first down, desperately needed, I think, Mike.
About 3.5 to play first quarter. The MVC with their initial first down, and now they go empty backfield. Quick pop by Rich. Flags come in on the play. Reception made by Dennis Collins out of Andover High School, and this is the first penalty flag we've seen this evening.
That in itself is pretty remarkable. Only one penalty in the football game.
All right, we've got 2 flags, one on each side. I don't know if they lined up offside on the far side, and perhaps we had a hold on this side. Procedure.
Illegal procedure, and I guess that's an illegal formation here, guys. That's going to cost the MVC 5.
Some of those little things like lining up correctly in the 10 days of practice, they just probably had too many people on the line of scrimmage and an ineligible receiver downfield.
Brown is the lone running back, and here is Rich back to throw. What a terrific catch, and are they going to call it a completion? No.
No.
Delaney had his hands on it, and he was separated by a pretty good lick.
Yeah, excellent play with the linebacker. I think it was it a Woburn helmet?
Right here, I think it was David Rowley that did rally and come up big time and separate the player from football.
Number 34, David, from Woburn. It's going to go to Bridgeton Academy up in Bridgeton, Maine. I know where that is. Very familiar place of mine. Spent a year there.
And the team nickname would be?
The Wolverines.
Okay, thank you. Screen coming, had the right call. And
there's Bobby Brown.
Brown with some room down the far sideline. And he goes up and over number 37, Kevin Galaraza of Stoneham. Nice call. The Middlesex League came hard. They had the perfect call with the screen set up, and Brown knew exactly what to do with it.
Right. You know, in that play, Bobby Brown, Dave Leach was downfield. He's not only well known as a running as a runner, but he's also a good blocker. And there he was downfield blocking on the screen and did a nice job.
Well, we talked about what the MVC needed, and this is exactly it, guys. It's a nice drive here, both run and pass. Rich looks very comfortable in the pocket and getting outside the pocket, making good reads. Here he is on the bootleg. Another nice read. He came underneath to number 80.
Jeff Cargill from Central Catholic.
Number 20, Mike Borders.
Jeff on his way to Bates, and I believe that's his dad, Dan. That was a former classmate of mine at Merrimack College.
Is that right? All right. 6 degrees of separation here, right?
Another first down for the MVC. The ball sits at the 31-yard line. 2:08 and counting left in the first quarter. McCready is the deep man in the eye. They've gone unbalanced to the near side.
And the payback, Mike, to the timeout.
All right.
Very close timeout. MVC did come out unbalanced, and I think the Middlesex League was a little surprised with that.
Yeah.
Well,
And we tipped them off. We said, we said, oh, wait a minute, we've got too many ends on this side. I'm going to go the other side, and that just gave them enough time to say, wait a minute, there is something wrong here. Let's call a timeout.
Well, the offense does have the advantage in these games. They can play around a little bit with some interesting formations and do some trick things. As we mentioned, the defense pretty much vanilla.
Right.
And Mike, as you indicated, it's pretty tough to hide those two Billerica guys when you go unbalanced, isn't it?
That's right.
Well, they unbalance the field no matter where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. They are two big men.
Well, high school football just around the corner. Rocky Nelson and I always joke that this is a great stage because we know now once this game completes, we got about a month before everything gets rolling. In early September, we'll all be chomping at the bit. And you guys were talking about, again, 6 degrees of separation. Chelmsford's going up to Gloucester this year. Reading has played Gloucester for, I think, a dozen years or so now. And it's a great place to play football. There'll be a lot of maroon in that stadium, on both sides of the field.
Gloucester's maroon and white, that's right.
And they had some things go on up there a couple of years ago, changing coaching staff. Terry Silva out. They brought a new staff in last year, but they are always going to be one of the favorite up in that conference, in the Northeastern Conference. It's them and Swampscott. I think you guys are going to really enjoy going up to Gloucester and have a good time with that.
We're looking forward to it. Super Bowl matchup from back in the 80s.
All the Gloucester people are shuddering now. Here is Rich.
Oh.
Just a little bit behind his intended receiver, and a flag comes in.
Pass interference there.
Cargill again, the intended receiver, and that was number 15, Brendan Byrne, who may have been burned on that play. I don't know if that was hit early or not, guys. It looked clean from here. What do you think?
I thought it was clean, Mike. I was surprised to see the flag come in at that particular point, to be honest with you.
The ball was tipped, so they've called off the penalty because the ball was tipped and it's on its way.
Well,
Nice.
Looking quickly, Mike, at the roster for the MVC, I only see Bruce Rich, Howie, as a quarterback that's listed.
Right.
He's getting banged on most of the plays. He's getting hit after he throws it or when he hands it off. And I'm not sure who their number 2 guy is.
It's Josh Valerio, number 4. I'm sorry, not number 4. Where is Josh? Number 3. He's the backup.
Okay.
Well, maybe Bruce Rich is going to use the every other quarter method of spelling his quarterbacks.
That may be.
People change in the All-Star games here. The Middlesex League is going every other series. On a 2nd and 10, little dump off to Cargill, and he'll be taken down by Chisholm out of Lexington and Hallett out of Melrose. Go check that. That was number 5, Evan McCullough out of Stoneham High School, who made the last stop.
Well, the Lions, I'm a little Freudian there. The MVC has put on a nice little drive here from the nice return to the 31-yard line, and now they're down here on the 24-yard line of the Middlesex League. So they've moved it about 50 yards, and they seem to be playing with a little more confidence and purpose right now.
Nice controlled passing game. Rich seems very comfortable. They'll pound it now with McCready, who gets a crease over the right side. Inside the 20-19-yard line, Kurt Chisholm makes the stop, but not until McCready picks up the first.
Right. Joe is an excellent inside the tackle runner. He doesn't have the great burst of speed that Leach has to get to the outside, but he was very effective for the Lowell team last fall running inside.
Now Andrew Murphy, the big right tackle, number 73 out of Central, and his partner, number 60, I believe that's Shilanagarian, and I'm sure I butchered that name.
Let's see, who was it, number 60? Oh yes, from Haverhill, Chillingarian, right.
Leach with a nice little cutback at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Inside the 15-yard line.
And they ran behind the two big Barica players, Darvish and Whitman.
That's got to be a pretty nice luxury for David Leach, as the final 5 seconds will tick away here in the first quarter, and we're going to end with a score of 14-0 Middlesex League. McNeil got it started with a touchdown catch from Pizzardi, then Howard from 6 yards away, and the MVCs are knocking on the door as we end the first 11 minutes of this 11th annual Carole Football Classic.
Welcome back, everyone. Bruce Meyer, Mike Mascarello, and Howie Neal, along with our statistician Ronna Berman, and we're just about ready to go in the first play, second quarter of action. The Middlesex League has broken on top by a score of 14-0, but the Merrimack Valley has responded now with a very nice drive. They're on the 15-yard line. Second down and about 5. Rich rolls to his right, fakes the pass, and throws the pass. And completed,
so
and
Leach,
that looked like Leach out on the sideline, and driven out of bounds inside the 10s to about the 8-yard line, I believe. Nicely executed play.
Nice. David lined up as a wideout, did a little in fake and broke to the outside. Bruce rolled out to the right, so it was a nice short pass, and David made a nice catch and got the first down, and we're here inside about the 6-yard line.
First and goal at the 6, right, Howie? Okay. Let's see, the amazing thing here is that the Merrimack Valley, Mike, has thrown the ball down this in this drive a lot.
Okay, here's the unbalance. Let's see if they tip it off.
Unbalanced to the right.
They haven't recognized it.
The handoff is to Leach. He tries to bounce it outside, and he's close, and he's in for the touchdown. David Leach from 6 yards away has answered, and it makes the score now 14 for the Middlesex League and 6 for the Merrimack Valley, and if ever a try was needed, that was it.
That was it. And I got to compliment the MVC linemen there. They came out in an unbalanced. They stayed there. They didn't tip it off. They stayed low. They stayed with their blocks. Did a nice job moving out the right side. David made a little cut, then broke it to the outside, and picked up the 6-yard touchdown.
So that was a 79-yard drive in 14 plays, and really unusual in an all-star game to drive to go that far. This is Julio Faria of Lowell High School on to try the point after touchdown. Ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good, and we have a football game now with a score of 14-7 in favor of the Middlesex League, and that was a very impressive drive.
Absolutely. As Howie mentioned, the offensive line did a great job running the ball here at the very end, but give him some credit for the outstanding pass blocking. The nice drive, controlled passing. Rich, very impressive using a variety of receivers, his backs, his wide receivers. Both Brown and Leach made big catches in that drive, so we're right back in it. There's 14-7, as you said, and this is the way everybody wants it. We want it right down to the wire. Of course, I want the Middlesex League to win. You guys want the NBC to win. We'll figure that out later.
So in 12 seconds of the second quarter, the MVC has gotten onto the board now. And as Mike indicated, a lot of pride in both of these leagues, and I know that the MVC wanted to answer and put some points up on the board. Right. Faria is the kickoff. McNeil is one of the deep backs. And get the number on that other one.
Number 21, Scott Dyer from Belmont.
Okay.
I want to point out, Bruce, that Faria is on his way to UMass Amherst, and probably as a kicker, and Coach Brown out there, the former Northeastern coach, is probably very pleased to have him.
And Faria kicks this one deep, and it's coming down to the end zone goal line.
Bobby Brown.
And McNeil was the return man. Bobby Brown made the tackle at about the 10-yard line. So 1st and 10, and now we'll see with a little bit longer field this time for the Middlesex League to negotiate.
All right, we'll see what Chris Pizzotti can do here to get the Middlesex League out of a hole.
How big is Chris, Mike?
Well, he's about 6'5", 6'6". He's the biggest of the three brothers, and they're all good size.
And they have excellent tradition at Reading High School as quarterbacks. They've done an excellent job. Excellent crowd here tonight, too. It's filled in very nicely.
It has an excellent crowd, both sides.
Pizzotti is back. He throws it out quickly to the sideline. And received and first down yardage out there. I believe that was Chris McNeil.
Number 1 or 7? Number 7.
Ryan Kelly, I'm sorry. Reuben High School, Ryan Kelly.
Right.
Headed to Merrimack College.
Now is a quick hitch pass to get them out of...
7-yard gain on that completion. We have a player down, Middlesex League player down on the field.
Yeah, it was a nice hitch pass by Pizzotti to number 7, Ryan Kelly, and I missed who was. There was a wideout out there that was doing an excellent job stock blocking on Valerio that gave Kelly the room to pick up the 7 yards.
Middlesex League attempting to answer back now and control some of the clock themselves. I think that was probably the Merrimack Valley's game plan. Try to conserve as much time on the clock when you have an athletes like Reed and Pizzotti throwing at you. I know the defensive backs coaches the other night when we talked with them, they were worried.
Yeah, I think they should be. I think after just this short, they were right to be worried. This is Della Russo, I believe.
And the problem, you can't create in practice something like Pizzotti throwing at you.
No, it's...
And he looks to be okay, and let's hope that he'll get back into this football game. I'm sure he will. So we've got 2nd down and about 3. Clock shows 10 minutes, 37 seconds in the 2nd quarter. Middlesex League in the red, Merrimack Valley in the white, going from left to right.
Beautiful night for a game.
Boy, it is.
Skies were threatening earlier in the day and yesterday, so it's nice to see the weather break for us and bring out the crowd.
Once again, multiple sets, multiple backs. Pizzotti's doing a little coaching here, and he's going to take a timeout. Having a little communication problem.
It's what you talked about at the start, Bruce, with only 10 days and multiple formations and trying to learn new terminology. There are going to be some mistakes like this made. And again, Tom Kasperzak, the hat came off and it went back on. That's one thing you get with a lot of these guys, is that senior leadership. They've been around so long, and Chris Pizzotti has a tremendous amount of poise, as does Bruce Rich in the pocket. They understand the offenses. The advantages these two quarterbacks have. This is the Reading offense and the Chelmsford offense.
I was just going to ask you, is this the type of offense that Pizzotti ran last fall, or the run and shoot, or one back set?
They ran a lot of that, Howie. They ran a lot of 4 wide receiver set.
Pizzotti with a straight handoff up the middle, and with good running room, fighting hard. Number 45, Jason Hallett from Melrose. And he popped through a hole and took the ball up to the 37-yard line. Excellent
job by Jason. Extra second effort there to break a tackle and pick up the extra yardage, get the first down. Nice job to get the Middlesex League out of the hole here.
And that's what makes it so difficult to defend these guys. When you have a good passer, you have to respect that, and it does open up maybe a little bit of running room along the line. And blocked very nicely. Pizzotti will play football at his future at Harvard University. First and 10, 37-yard line. Handoff to the outside. And with good running room to the outside is Dan DeMayo. Of Reuben High School, and he picks up another first down. So Middlesex League crossing them up a little bit here.
He got a great block on the corner from his classmate Paul Dwyer, number 82. Punched that defensive end out, and DeMayo cut it up inside.
So the Middlesex League showing that they can also run the football now with 2 consecutive first downs on the ground. The ball is directly at midfield. 9 minutes, 37 seconds left to play in the second quarter. 14-7, the Middlesex League on top. A little tighter formation now. And Pizzotti wants another timeout. And you can see once again that Coach Tom isn't happy.
Well, I think that what's going
They only
on
had 10
is
guys, I think, Carole, on the field.
The coaching staff has left it up to the individual players as far as substituting, and somehow the signals have gotten crossed, and not everybody was out there that the coach wanted out there.
Okay, it's 1st and 10 once again. Ball on the ball at midfield. Pizzotti back to pass. He steps up, looks long, has a man wide open, and it's a touchdown. And a great pass run catch to Ryan Kelly from Woburn High School, and that was a 50-yard completion.
Excellent job there by Pizzotti, and Ryan Kelly just did a fade route, and Pizzotti just laid it up there, and Kelly outran number 1, John Ravanis, and made a nice catch, and that was all he needed.
Maybe that timeout was just a ploy, Howie, that just to kind of lull us to sleep a little bit. Excellent pass, excellent catch. Not much you can do about that one when he throws it out and lays it down about 45 yards, pass run.
Very nice touch. He put a lot of air under it and let Kelly run under it.
On to try the extra point. Trying to add the 21st point for the Middlesex League, and it looks good, and it is. That's Kelly
catches. He catches and kicks.
Right. What a nice combination that is.
You guys mentioned about Pizzotti's touch, and one thing you'll notice about Chris, I've had the pleasure of seeing him over the last 3 years. It's not just a big, strong arm where he sits back in the pocket and throws darts. He has that touch. He's able to read the defenses. Of course, he's had 2 brothers come before him. They're both terrific quarterbacks. His dad was an outstanding football player. So as you mentioned about Bruce Rich, Howie, he gets a lot of it every day. He's talking football with his brothers and with his dad.
Sure.
Chris knows the game, and he's got excellent touch. And Harvard's excited about him, and he's excited about Harvard.
Right. I would imagine that Coach Murphy at Harvard is can't wait to get Chris out there and get him throwing the ball around the Ivy Stadium.
Talk about scoring quickly. That was 4 plays that covered 89 yards, and the last one, a 50-yard strike from Pizzotti to Kelly, and Middlesex League now has jumped on top by a score of 21-7, and we have 9 minutes 11 seconds to play in the second quarter. I think the pregame expectations were right on the number in this one, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. The Middlesex League is going to throw it around a lot, and the MVC is going to mix it up a little bit more, use their running backs, but also use their controlled passing game.
Here is McNeil's kickoff coming down to McCready, and boy, he was close to toe. He did. I thought he touched his knee down, boy, at about the 10-yard line.
Ouch.
And that really hurt. He did have some room to take it further, and unfortunately wanted to make sure he caught it, but in so doing, put his knee down on the 10. This has been a game of not good field position for the MVC.
Well, it didn't seem to hurt him the last time.
No, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
The one time they've had good field position, they were able to come down and score. But since then, or whenever they've been backed up like this, they've had their problems.
Rich once again in at quarterback, and let's see who he has. He has Leach in there with him for one, and looks like Bobby Brown is his backfield mate. Yeah, we've got a flag.
We got delay here.
That's a very good possibility. So this is going to further set back the MVC. Oh, it's against that illegal substitution?
Absolutely, you're right on it, Bruce. One of the Middlesex League players jogged off a few seconds ago, and refs counted to 12 and mark off 5 yards against the red team.
Not only do they have a 14-point lead, they're trying to play with 12 guys here. All right, 1st and 5 from the 15. And it's Rich rolling out to his left, back to his right. It was a screen, and it's Leach, and he has some yardage out there, and we have a late flag coming in. That was I think, a screen.
It was
designed as a screenplay. And we're going to have to wait just a moment to see what the flag was. Came in late after Leach. The play was over. It's holding against the Merrimack Valley Conference. So that's not going to negate the pass completion and set the MVC back again.
It does negate it.
So this is going to be taking the ball back to about the 11-yard line. 11-yard line.
Is it half the distance?
Yeah. And it's first down again. So we're right back about where we started.
Ran off a little time, and that was about it.
That's it. That's right. Bruce Beyer, Mike Boscarello, and Howie Neal from Burlington, Massachusetts. Great night for football. I wish the fall could be like this. All of it. This is Rich looking over the middle, the sideline, and
nice
has a receiver and a great catch.
And we got interference on there as well.
Covered out there by number 15, Brendan Byrne of Wakefield. And he was right with him, but that was just a beautifully executed play.
Yeah, Danny made a great catch because he did have Byrne hanging all over him.
So I think this is going to stand. I believe that it was pass interference. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but
I think you got the call right. I'm just not sure if it's against the Middlesex or against the Merrimack MVC.
So that's going to be approximately a 30-yard completion that takes the MVC out of a big hole and takes them out to the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line.
That was just a great football play. It was a perfect throw, a great catch, good defense,
Right.
good offensive line
Right.
play. It couldn't get much better than that, guys.
No, you can't. You can't.
Rich now has the play from the sideline. Brown and McCready are the backs behind him. Rich has thrown for 107 yards now in the football game, according to Rana's numbers, and I know they're correct. This is McCready pounding straight ahead, but boy, there's not much there, nothing there. Getting off the bottom of that one, number 74 for the Middlesex League, Jason Pruzzi from Burlington High School. Second and maybe a loss of a yard there. It's going to be 2nd and 11 now. I have to say, Howie, that the MVC, I think, has been out hitting this football game.
I think so. I think the Middlesex League has really done a nice job coming after the
Rich
MVC
to
group.
throw. He has a receiver just a little bit high.
Yeah.
Trying to hit
Kevin Delaney
out there on the sideline. That play worked well for them during the season,
Right.
but just a little bit overthrown.
Yeah.
3rd and 11.
I'm thinking as I watched that in mid-season, that's a completion.
Oh, yeah.
Timing, not quite there. As you said, only 10 days of practice. Ball a little bit high, a little bit slow coming out of the break. He had a little trouble getting out of his break, and the coverage by Georgette was not too bad.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that's right on target. This is Chelmsford. I'm sorry, Chelmsford. I'm getting a little ahead of myself in season. Merrimack Valley timeout. 30-second timeout.
What do you guys think about the change in timeout? We have the full timeout. We have the 30-second timeout. Are you opponent? Are you for it? Does it not make a difference? I'm looking from Howie's face. Looks like it doesn't make a difference.
I don't think it makes a difference, except it makes the game longer. But again,
I like the 30-second timeout in terms of getting. I would like to see Mike actually shortening the number of timeouts.
right, I was just going to say,
Yeah, I
perhaps
think-
go to 4 regulation timeouts.
Yeah,
in addition.
I think we're all on board with that one. Especially if you're used to Tom Kasprzak, he'll save all 5 to the last part of the 4th quarter.
No, I agree with you. This is a 3 trips wide receivers to the right side. This could go to Leach now. And he's held up a little. It is going to sideline to Pope, but incomplete, and it's going to bring up a punting situation now probably for the MVC. Their first punt probably went about 5 yards or so.
That's
back
right.
in the first quarter. So we'll see whether they do, in fact, punt the football. But I think they probably should here.
Yeah, that looked like one of my shanks, Bruce, on the course. But we'll see what happens on this one here. Bobby Brown going to do the punting this time?
Bobby's in there. You know he did punting for Chelmsford High School. I wouldn't be surprised, Howie, to see a little fake here.
I'm sorry, it's Michael Donald, the central punter.
You've got Brown and Leach, two of the upbacks, and I think McCready is the other one. No, he is going to punt it away.
And a nice punt.
And a nice punt this time. And a deep punt coming to the 10-yard line to Chris McNeil. And he has some room. He's trying to find some room. Running out of room, and he's buried back on the 9-yard line. Chris made that fun.
Yeah. He did.
Bobby Brown down to do the coverage.
It's Bobby Brown's. It's one of the deep backs in the punt formation. And there he is making the tackle.
Bobby's going to apply his trade as a baseball pitcher, Howie, or baseball player later on in Florida.
Right, yeah.
So the clock shows 6 minutes, 49 seconds, and a long field for the Middlesex League. But that hasn't been a problem, Mike, in the past.
Right. And Mike, don't ask me what the nickname is of High Point University. I can't tell you.
If you could, Howie, you're working with the wrong guys. And this is a quick hitter on the outside to number 9, Brian Delaroso of Reading. Did I say that correctly, Mike?
Yes, you did. And Deli's had himself a pretty good year, both in the fall and in the spring. Had a great year in baseball this year. You said it's a long field. The mentality of these quarterbacks just gives me more room to throw. They want that 60-yard field.
And it's Ben Reed now doing the throwing for the Middlesex League. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. I would imagine it must be fun to be a wideout down at Reading.
Reading and Burlington, the two teams in the league that throw the ball more than anybody else. And yeah, you're absolutely right.
All right, Reed, the quarterback. He has one back behind him. He drops straight back. He pump fakes. He rolls out to his left, being chased out there. And he is going to be wrapped up. Reed is thrown for a loss back to about the 4-yard line.
That was a nice job by number 70, Mark Roddy from Dracut, who made Reed pull up and reverse his field and gave his fellow defenders time to come in and make the tackle. Nice job by Mark.
Clock is running. We're coming down to 6 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the second quarter.
And that's not easy for Mark to do. 6 feet 230. So he showed some great speed.
Mark is the only representative from Dracut in this football game, and I know he was very pleased to be chosen, and is taking a lot of pride in his appearance tonight. Straight back to pass.
Look out.
Oh, this is in the end zone, and it's loose. Is it in? It's out of the end zone. A safety, I believe. Yeah. Boy, big pass rush coming right up the gut there that time.
Number 39 from Central Catholic, Jay Stahl. Excellent rush by Jay.
So that's going to be a 2-point safety, making the score 21-9 now. And the Middlesex League will be punting from its 20-yard line. So a break for the MVC.
Yep.
Well, they made their own break, guys. Played real good defense. They got good special teams coverage. They put the Middlesex League in a hole and did a real good job in the secondary. Got some pressure up the middle, and the quarterbacks will tell you they don't mind the pressure from the corners. They can step up when it's right up the middle. You have no place to go, and they were on Reed in a hurry, forced it to the safety, and as you said, they're going to get the ball back here and could get right back in scoring position.
Yeah, excellent point, Mike, in terms of the pressure, and also the fact that was probably the best defensive series, Howie, for the MVC.
It was, Bruce. I think that the MVC stepped it up a notch and started to penetrate more. It had good containment so that Reed couldn't get outside when he started to scramble. Stayed in the pocket that time. We had a good rush up the middle from Stahl and resulted in the safety. Did an excellent job. Nice series.
So the option goes to the kicking team as to whether they want to place kick it or punt it, and it appears as though the Middlesex League is going to place kick it, and that's number 7, Ryan Kelly, And Pope and Leach are back standing on their own 30-yard line, awaiting the kick. Big series, I think, coming up, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. If the MVC can knock one home here, it's 21-16, maybe 21-17. You never know what's going on. 5.5 to play. It's an awful lot of football game left.
Here is the kick. It's a short one. It's going to be out of bounds, I believe, and it is. It hit out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty. I think they were respecting Pope and Leach there, Howie.
Right, I thought maybe they were trying a little pooch kick, and they're trying to hit it in that dead zone, trying to maybe even recover it for an onside kick to get back some of the momentum they've just lost there in that safety.
So let's see where the ball will be placed now, or whether or not the ball went out of bounds on the 40-yard line, and I think they're going to ask them to re-kick it. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know why they wouldn't ask them to re-kick. They didn't take any time off the clock.
Right.
And they might give them better
maybe
position.
they don't have the option, and
Well,
it's
there
a
was
10-yard penalty.
Right.
Yep. So the ball is going to the 50-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. Is that correct, Mike? It's maybe you know, familiar with the rule.
And again, maybe I'm not.
Well, I thought I wasn't, so I thought I'd give it to you.
Thanks.
We'll plead a little ignorance on that one. It's Howie's fault. He's supposed to be the color guy.
That's right. I should have the rule book in my hand, and I don't have it with me tonight.
Brown and Leach behind Rich. Leach trying to find some room. Not much. Fights for a couple of yards, maybe a yard over the 50. And it'll be 2nd down and 9 with 5:28 and the clock running in the second quarter. 21-9 in favor of the Middlesex League. Middlesex League scoring twice in the first quarter, once in the second. Merrimack Valley 9 points here in the second quarter of action.
I think probably, Bruce, the toughest position to play here tonight is an offensive lineman for either team. They're working with unfamiliar people next to them in a lot of cases. A lot of them don't know the offense. They have to face some real good defenders, and they have to block, within the rules.
And that's Brown taking the hand up straight ahead and finding some room there, picking up a nice 6-7 yards across the 45 to the 43-yard line, we'll call it. Just going to be 2nd and maybe 4.
To continue in that point, they even though they're blocking against vanilla defenses, it's still a very tough job. 10 practices and not having hit anybody for a long time. I think they have the toughest job.
I think you could be right. 3rd down and about 4 for the Merrimack Valley Conference. Over the middle, and it's completed. Nice
Cargill,
catch.
I believe, number 80.
Central Catholic jumps with the Central Catholic for the completion and the 1st down. The ball is on the 35-yard line. Nicely executed play there, Mike.
The timing was perfect, and Berman with a nice stick on the play. Just want to go back to something Howie was saying. Howie, that's why I think you see the coaches trying to put kids from the same schools together as much as possible, trying to get some continuity going.
Exactly. I think that's a good point, Mike. That's the word I was looking for, continuity.
That one I knew. The rule I didn't know.
All right, 1st and 10. Under 4 minutes now in the second quarter. Run the option to Leach. Leach tries to cut up and is pulled down. Nice play and containment on the outside. Gain of about 3 to the 32-yard line. Didn't get the number on that player on the outside.
37, Bruce. Number 37.
Kevin Galarraza from Stoneham did a nice job there. David picked up, we'll give him 4 on the play.
I think Coach Kasperzak now putting in the defense that maybe started the game here. He doesn't want to give up a score. As we mentioned at the top of the show, a lot of pride.
Clock is becoming a little bit of an issue now. We're down to 3 minutes, 39 seconds and running. Straight back is Rich, looking for a deep one to Pope, and he has it in stride. Touchdown.
Excellent throw by
32-yard
Bruce.
scoring strike from Bruce Rich to Danny Pope. Boy, there's something. Bill Johnson to Bill Ricker. You don't see that one often, Howard.
Well, as you know, Mike may not know, a lot of the Rich family has relatives in Bill Ricker, so I'm sure that they're glad that they made that completion in the Rich family anyway.
This is a great football game, Mike.
Absolutely. It's always been billed as a great contest between two great conferences. I tell you, it has been absolutely what we've expected.
So 5 plays, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Rich, 32 of them, 32 yards. Rich to Pope, and the kick is blocked, and that ball is loose now. So it's on the field.
Right.
A little bit of a difficulty on the snap and handling it, I think.
Low snap, and we had a new kicker. I didn't notice who the holder, if it was the same hold or not. But
Scott Landers, I believe,
Landers was the kicker. He didn't actually have a real good opportunity to kick it, so no fault of Scott's there.
Well, the good news is the Merrimack Valley scored, but the bad news is that now Mr. Pizzati or Mr. Reed have 3 minutes and 32 seconds to answer.
And he was cranking up his arm over here in the sideline, so I don't think they're going to run the ball.
So back in the football game comes the Merrimack Valley Conference. 21-15 is our score. Bruce Rich is piling up some passing yardages, Rona. 147 yards. Maybe we could get some numbers on attempts and completions in a moment. Put you on the spot here.
Well, let's see. I hope Julio Faria from Lowell can put the ball deep, and we get a good coverage and keep them down inside the 20 would be very nice.
11 for 17 is Bruce Rich. And back deep, Chris McNeil. And Scott Dyer is also back there. And this is Faria's kick deep, coming into the end zone, and going to stay in the end zone. I think a pretty good decision,
Very
Mike.
wise decision there, but definitely. With the coverage I think that the Merrimack had, I don't think that the receiver the returner was going to get out to the 20, so it was a smart move on his part.
The Faria is a weapon with his foot.
He is. I'm trying to think back, Bruce, when they played Chelmsford, did he have a long field goal?
I believe he did, Howie. Yeah, he had a field goal. I can't remember the yardage on it, but he did have one.
It wasn't a chip shot. It was a good one.
Okay, let's see who the Middlesex League comes with now. Looks like Pizzati is back as the quarterback. And he's straight back, facing a rush from the outside and completed. Boy, that play was beautifully done. A matter of a split second, that completion.
Right.
That was Brian Delarusso, one of his targets from Reading High School.
Brian's headed for Tufts next fall, and I'm sure that I know he's a good baseball player. And Coach Casey at Tufts, the head baseball coach, is also has been a football assistant in the past, so I'm sure he's looking forward to having him there.
That was a 9-yard pickup. It's 2nd and 1, and coming up straight ahead, and just merely getting the first down, I think.
Is that Hallett?
Looked like Hallett. Fighting for yardage. And it was from Melrose. He picks up the first down. And we have 2 minutes and 48 seconds. I don't know if our scoreboard clock is official.
No, I don't know either.
Sure, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Ball is just across the 30-yard line. Pizzati looking to his left and underthrows his receiver out there. Pretty good pass coverage. Chris might have thrown that one low intentionally.
Right. Valerio on the coverage, the backup quarterback. Excellent job there covering. And I'm just looking at the notes here, Bruce, and Hallett, the fullback for the Middlesex team, is probably going to be Leach's blocking back at Merrimack next fall.
Amazing how these things work out, isn't it?
Well, again, 6 degrees of separation. Jim Murphy, former Reading High School quarterback, now the head coach, along with Bill Tucker, who is an outstanding running back at Reading High School. I know I talked with Jim recently, very excited about his incoming freshman class. He said they have a lot of guys kicking in a 4th gear, and they haven't had that yet.
Uh-huh.
It's a draw, and read draw play read very nicely. Let's see if we can get the number of that happy, looked like a Billerica helmet there, number 17, is
was
that?
it 17? I believe.
Yeah, that's Ryan Catania from Billerica High School, staying home, doing a nice job. And the Merrimack Valley now takes a timeout, trying to conserve some clock, maybe get the ball back one more time. It's going to be 3rd and 15, and the ball is back to the 27-yard line of the Middlesex League.
Hey guys, while we have a moment during this timeout, coming up at halftime, we're going to present an award to each member, one member, I should say, from the Merrimack Valley, one from the Middlesex League. Member of the Merrimack Valley Conference who raised the most money is Mark Roddy out of Drake. He'll receive the Frank Benjamin Award. And you guys, I'm sure, know Frank Benjamin or know of Frank Benjamin. He's been up in the Merrimack Valley for a long time. Big proponent of high school football. He's done an awful lot for the Carole Classic. So we honor Frank and one player from the MVC each year. And the Cliff Allen Award winner goes to the Middlesex League. Cliff, my former partner doing high school football for Reading, passed away several years ago. And John Haruk, who up until game time had raised $1,200 himself this year. Of the $6,000, John was responsible for $1,200. So
He must have a big family,
I
Mike.
tell you, Rocky, and I talked with Rocky Nelson. John actually put together a letter that they're going to use next year as an example for all the other players. He really took the challenge and he did a great job. And Rocky told me he's a great kid. And we're very proud of both these young men for stepping forward and raising some money. So we're going to present those at halftime. I just wanted to mention that while we have a moment.
That's really both are very deserving. I'm sure that they both raised a lot of money for this classic for the young kids that have had cancer and that are battling cancer right now.
Outstanding job. And it's a reverse
Pass.
and it's a pass off the reverse, option pass, and the pass is almost picked off. There's a play that did take a little bit long, and
Guy Ferretra, number 34, almost picked that off. Former Lion, former Chelmsford Lion.
so the punting situation now goes to the Middlesex League with 2 minutes 11 seconds to play in the second quarter, and Leach is dropping back, and let's see who the punter is for the Middlesex League.
It's probably Kelly, number 7. No, Kelly's coming out.
Coming out.
Number 6.
Maybe he's coming to get the tea again.
Kurt Chisholm from Lexington.
Chisholm is the punter. Leach is standing at his 38-yard line. The punt will come from about the 15, and there's a flag down on the play. Kind of a wobbly kick coming toward the sideline, and Leach is going to let it bounce, I think. No, he didn't. And he fumbled it, and it's picked off, I think. I don't know. Merrimack Valley recovered it. That's risky. But there is a flag on the play.
I think we had a procedure penalty on Middlesex League.
And what Dave will tell you is that I knew the flag came up, and I figured I'd take a chance. Don't worry, Coach, I had it all under control.
And I think, Mike, you should be a lawyer for David.
Yeah, you might want to get over there and hear David plead his case to Coach Rich.
In any event, we're going to re-kick this thing, and going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Middlesex League. Kick will now come from about the 10-yard line. And we'll see if Leach, in fact, is back to, he is. He's going to be back there. So, Mike, you must be right.
Ball is out at the Middlesex 20-yard line.
So this will be 5 yards, ball on the 20-yard line, but the punt will probably come more like the 15-yard line, and Leach is standing inside the 50 now, about the 49-yard line to receive it.
Excuse me, Bruce, what we need is a good kick from the punter to give David time to field it and give him some running room.
And the kicker was almost bumped. Leach has the football and doesn't have the football, and now it is fumbled and recovered at the 48-yard line by the Middlesex League, and boy, did that work out well for them.
That play I don't think Coach Kasperzak has in his playbook. I think
David's on his own on this one.
I turned to the lawyer, but no good.
Sometimes you have to take the fifth, and this is one of them.
Right.
Brian Del Russo had the recovery on that. He was one of the gunners coming on the near side and was right there to make the recovery for the Middlesex League. And a strange turn of events here, guys.
yeah.
So now the Middlesex League has 1 minute and 50 seconds and a much shorter field. They're inside Merrimack Valley territory at the 48.
We've got Ben Reed in at quarterback for the Middlesex League.
And you're right, Mike, they're sticking to the rotation, the every other series rotation. So let's see what Reed does here now. He's back to pass. He's rushed. He's dropped. And
There's
coming up
Mark
again,
Roddy right there. I think that's Mark Roddy, number 70.
That's Roddy. Boy, not only did he sell some tickets, he's got some show the people he can play.
That's right.
Right up the middle again.
Yeah.
Penetration. It looks like the MVC's had a lot of success the last couple series. It's coming right through the center guard gaps.
Yeah, the
And I just heard Coach yell over to the sideline, nobody blocked the tackle, so obviously he's not happy.
Hey, Tommy doesn't need a headset because you can just yell up to the guys in the press box.
Quick one out to the sideline, and it's low and incomplete, and now we got a flag. Totally unnecessary. Guy for Ryan Silver, rather. For
John Ravanis.
Ravanis, I'm sorry. Chelmsford did not need to do that. The play was clearly dead. Just lost a little bit of composure there. And a merited flag by the official. Truly deserved. That's going to set the Middlesex League up now with a first down. It's going to be a 15-yarder. And that's going to probably give them a first down. Going to be very close. It will be a first down anyway. Yeah. So the 40-yard line with 1:08 seconds to play in quarter number 2. That could drive a coach crazy.
You'd have the Middlesex League in a 3rd and long situation just where you want him, especially before the half. And obviously, John's a terrific kid on his way in the U.S. Navy, and he just made a bad decision.
Reed calls signals, fumbles the ball, and picks it up himself and advances it about a yard, but the clock will keep going. That's the negative part of that, unless there's a timeout.
And Reed made something out of nothing there because he did fumble that snap, and I happened to watch the middle of the defensive line, number 55 for Merrimack Valley there from Central Catholic. Let's see who we got. Tony. It's getting a little dark here. Pallarino? Palaria?
You know, I was just about to comment on that, to turn the lights on in here because it is getting dark.
But he did a nice swim technique on the center, and he was in the backfield, and Reed was going to get dropped for a loss. So by bobbling that snap, I think Palaria ran by him, and Reed was able to pick up a couple of yards and made something out of nothing.
Guys, you're noticing that the flow is kind of gone in the latter part of the second quarter. I don't know if it's because players are getting tired or what it is, but there's a few more penalties.
Yeah, very good point.
A little bit less flow.
Right.
Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right,
Mike. It's almost
Mike.
as if they want to get to halftime here, Mike. I agree with you.
They're not doing a very good job of that with these penalties. They're stopping the clock, so they're not getting to halftime as quickly as they may have hoped.
According to Rana, the Middlesex League has one more timeout, so it's...
Let there be light. We've got light now.
We just speak and light comes. Isn't that nice? Back to pass is Reed. He steps up. He looks long. He's throwing into double coverage and incomplete. His intended receiver, number 8, Chris McNeil. And double covered.
Corey Williams from Baricker.
So it's going to be 3rd down now and about 9 to go for the Middlesex League, trying to add on to their lead of 21-16 here at just before halftime.
And Corey's on his way to UMass Dartmouth, so wish him luck.
Reed showed an excellent arm there in that pass. He drops way back this time, looks over the middle, fires over the middle again into coverage, and it's picked off, I believe.
Yeah, number 10 again, Corey Williams.
Williams picked it off. So a nice defensive job by the secondary there at about the 4-yard line, 2-yard line, let's say. And I'm sure the MVC will just run this one out.
Yeah. Corey read that very well. He came over from his left safety position, a left corner position, and he just read the quarterback's eyes, Reed, and just went with the ball and timed his jump nicely and intercepted the pass.
So the fumble, David Leach did not come back to hurt the Merrimack Valley Conference here. And we've got ourselves an excellent football game in terms of the Middlesex League jumping out early by a 14-0 score, but Merrimack Valley has come back and made a real contest out of this.
All right, with 39 seconds left, let's see what, and 96 yards to go. It's going to be an interesting play here. Bruce, I think you might be right. It might be take a knee or just an inside blast play to Leach.
Looks like McCready, and he did take the knee.
He did take the knee.
And unless the Middlesex League wants to use its last timeout, this is going to end the second quarter of action. And a ball is marked ready for play. I think they may have to snap it one more time. It was right close, Mike.
I think the referees blew the whistle as well inside the 30-second time. So, although it's 25 seconds here in high school,
that's why I thought it was
college
close.
and pros, I'm thinking 30.
Not for anything, but if you're an official, wouldn't you just wait one more second and then say, let's
Don't
go to the
take a
locker
knee
room?
there, Bruce.
Wow, that was an interesting play. I think well, you could see it. He threw it out of bounds, but boy, that was dangerous territory.
Right.
Maybe he couldn't take the knee because
he was in the end zone.
in the end zone.
A safety.
Absolutely right.
Sure.
We've come to the end of the first half of action. Bruce Byam, Howie Neal, Mike Mascarello. Sorry, Mike. I'm just having trouble with the pronunciation, but it's been a pleasure. We look forward to having you join us for the second half of action. Stay tuned.
The Carole Fund is Camp Carole possible. Thank you and give yourselves a round of applause. Each year at halftime, we honor one player from the Merrimack Valley Conference and the Middlesex League. The Merrimack Valley Conference representative receives the Frank Benjamin Award. Frank Benjamin has been a long-time proponent of high school football in the Merrimack Valley Conference. Frank was instrumental when the Carole Classic was in its early stages. We honor Frank and one of the MVC players for their contribution and their dedication to tonight's game. The award goes to Mark Durrani from Lincoln High School. Mark raised more money for the Carole Fund than anybody else on his team. Mark, from the bottom of our heart, thank you very, very much. The award for the Middlesex League participant is named after the late Cliff Allen. Cliff also was a longtime friend of high school football, and he was my partner covering high school football on cable television throughout eastern Massachusetts. We honor Cliff's memory each year at halftime. This year's recipient comes to us from Stoneham High School, Jonathan Baruch. Jonathan raised nearly $1,200 for the Carole Fund. Jonathan, thank you so much. All of the fundraising, all of the activity tonight is all about the Carole kids in Camp Carole. I'd like to present to you tonight's team representative, Diamond Pinchuk, and the co-founder of the Carole Fund, Mrs. Pat Egan. Dad, as always, I'd like to say a few words.
I'd like to thank all the players of the Merrimack Valley and Middlesex. Thank you so much for all that you've done for Camp Carole. Thank you to everybody here for taking the kids next week to camp. And it's all because of what you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Diamond. Gentlemen, it's been a great football game so far. Let's have another great 22 minutes. Good luck.
Welcome back, everyone. Bruce Byam, Howie Neal, Mike Mascarello, and want to thank Mike for doing an excellent job at halftime presenting the awards to the top fundraisers from each of the leagues, Middlesex League, Merrimack Valley League. And Mike, excellent job, and two deserving young men.
Right.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Yeah, they are. They're two terrific kids. I talked with Rocky Nelson about Jonathan Haruk, and as we mentioned at the end of the second quarter, he just took it upon himself. He met the challenge. He raised an awful lot of money himself. And both teams really understand what this is all about. It's not just about football. Football is a very small part of it. And we're very, very happy with the way fundraising is going. If anybody at home wants to get involved, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to get you the information and let you know
Right.
how to.
How can they do that, Mike?
Well, you can always call Rocky Nelson. Sorry, Rock, I'm about to give your phone number out over there.
I imagine they could also get in touch with Tommy Souza up in the Chelmsford area.
In the Merrimack Valley Conference, yeah, you want to get in touch with Tom Souza. Hey, you can call me at home. I'll give you my home phone number. It's 978-969-1366. Just give me a call, and we'll get you to the right people. And anybody who wants to make a donation, $300 says akin to camp for the summer. So please dig deep. It's for a great, great cause.
Boy, that's terrific, and I hope that people will continue to support as they have tonight. Mike, as you did in the first quarter, why don't you take us through the action now in quarter number 3?
All right, Scott Dyer takes a kick and was about to pop something big, and there was a nice tackle made by Michael Donnell out of Central Catholic, and Dyer taken down at about the 28-yard line.
All right, very quickly, we have a little break here. The stats for the first half for the Merrimack Conference. Bruce Rich was 11 for 18 passes for 147 yards. Dave Leach, 5 carries for 21 yards. Pope, 1 carry for -5. Brown, 2 carries for 5. McCready, 4 carries for 5 yards. And I'll get to the Middlesex stats right after this play.
Pizzardi's going to go from the gun. He has Kelly to the near side. McNeil split to the far side. Hallett is his lone blocking back. Delarusso taken down at about the 40-yard line. Corey Williams, who had an interception late in the first half, there on the stop for the MVC.
All right, continuing the first half stats, Chris Pizzardi, 5 for 9 for 90 yards. Reed, 1 for 7 yards, total 97 yards passing for the Middlesex League. And rushing I'll get to right after this play.
Again, they go from the gun on a 1st and 10. Pizzardi looking for Martini coming across the field, pass behind him. Bill Fabiano, number 35, was the closest defender for the MVC.
Okay, the rushing for the Middlesex, we had Dyer, 2 carries for 22 yards. Hallett, 4 carries for 20 yards. DeMeo, 1 carry for 13 yards. And Ben Reed, the quarterback, 1 carry for 1 yard for a total of 56 yards.
Statistics favor the Merrimack Valley, but in terms of field position, I think that's why, Mike, Middlesex League had a couple of short fields to travel, so couldn't pile up all the numbers. And nice job, Rana, with those numbers.
Pizzardi comes across the middle and has McNeil, makes a tumbling catch at the 44-yard line.
Excellent protection for Pizzardi on that particular play.
He had plenty of time, and with his height, he obviously could see the whole field.
Yeah.
Nice catch across the middle by McNeil.
Well, as the years have progressed, the quarterbacks have gotten bigger and bigger. It used to be those old Bobby Lane guys at about 5'9". I know a lot of people don't know who Bobby Lane is, but we do.
I'm trying to think now. You'll have to fill me in on that.
There's DeMaio trying to get around the corner, cut it back, and picks up about 4 on the play. Stop made by number 30. That's Derek Hall out of Methuen.
Number 30, Derek Hall. Gain 4 and 2nd down and 6.
Mike, did Pizzardi operate out of the shotgun at Reading predominantly, or a little above?
Well, they mixed it up a little bit, but in big situations, Pizzo was back in the gun with the 4 wide receivers. It's funny, when Tommy Kasperzak came, he was an I formation guy and pounded in between the tackles, and as the Pizzottis ran through Reading High School, they got further and further away from center. Again, he comes underneath, and I think that's Kelly on the far side of the field with the reception.
Yeah.
And Valerio there on the stop.
Turned it back just a little bit premature, though, maybe a yard short of first down.
Right. Well, as we know, Bruce, they're in 4-down territory, so
Right.
2 downs to get the first, and the way they're operating right now, I don't think they'll have a problem getting this first down.
We haven't had a lot of 3rd and short situations in this football game.
Shall we see Pizzotti just fall forward for 6 yards with his height?
He will come up under center. It's still a 4 and actually a 5 wide receiver set. That's why you're a coach.
Think you got your 5 yards, too,
I think
Howie?
so. I think so. Yeah.
And the Middlesex League will move the chains. Ball sits at the 32-yard line. An absolutely gorgeous night for football.
Beautiful.
Soft breeze, perfect temperature. Not bad for the big fellas up front.
Right,
You don't want
right.
those hot, humid nights, especially if you're a 280-pounder.
All right.
Hallett pounds his way up the middle to about the 22-yard line. Well, he has been the best running back, or most effective, I should say, for the Middlesex League, and it's nothing fancy.
No, he's very quick off the mark, and he gets through the crease before it closes. Does a nice job. He must have some good vision.
Well, near the conclusion of this game, there will be an offensive and defensive MVP selected from each side, and we don't get a vote. but
Okay.
I think we're going to take a vote up here anyway. Pizzotti to the corner, and it is incomplete.
Yeah.
McNeil, the intended receiver, and I believe that was Valerio
It was
again.
Valerio again. He did a nice job of staying with the receiver, even though we saw Pizzotti break out of the pocket. He didn't leave his man. Excellent job.
Well, we've seen a couple of times where the Middlesex League quarterbacks will throw it up and just let their athletes go up and get it, and that was clearly a case there. And I thought Valerio did a great job of using the sideline as an extra defender.
Yes. That's the experience of being a senior with 4 years probably, or even Pop Warner experience under his belt, so he uses that sideline well.
7:16 to play in the third quarter, and timeout taken by the Middlesex League, and that's the first cap we've seen of the second half from Tom Kasperzak. I'm sure I'm going to get some grief from him about this one.
Once again, nice drive coming out of the halftime break by the Middlesex League, and they've mixed up the run and pass very effectively, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, the receivers have read the defensive backs coverage very well and made some nice breaks, and Pizzotti has read the defensive backs, read the defense well as well. And so they've had some nice completions for first downs down the field. McNeil and Kelly both have run nice routes. And then you had Hallett make a nice run to get this last first down. And so now they're knocking on the door, second and 11, but this is, I can see what Coach Cap would call a timeout here, just to say, hey, we got 3 downs to get the first down. Let's execute, let's concentrate, and let's try to get another score on the board.
I get the feeling if you didn't look at the scoreboard, you might think that this is a runaway for the Middlesex League. But when you look at the board, guys, a touchdown and an extra point, and
That's right.
the MVC goes ahead. So it's one of those very strange games to me where the Middlesex League had such success early. The MVC just kind of creeping along, got themselves right back in the game.
Right.
Yeah, kind of chugging along like the little engine that could, I think. It's a good analysis, Mike.
Chris back to throw. To the middle to McNeil.
And he's in.
And he's
for the
in for
score.
6.
Excellent pattern run by McNeil. I watched him go down the field, and he just turned his defender around, did a real nice job to come back to get that football.
And I watched the offensive line blocking, and it was excellent. And Pizzotti had plenty of time to set back there, move around a little bit, and throw to his open receiver.
Well, we did one nice thing, guys, that when he sifted to his left, he got his shoulders squared down the field, set his feet, did not throw off balance, and threw a dart to McNeil, who came back and, as Bruce said, found that open spot. Brian Kelly remains perfect on the PAT. 28-15, the Middlesex League on top with 7:07 to play in the third.
9-play drive, Mike, and they went, how many yards runner in that drive? So my math quickly takes it 72-yard drive. Nice job. Mostly the pass, but they ran just enough to keep the Merrimack Valley off balance.
Well, they made some nice adjustments at halftime, if they made any, and they certainly capitalized, moved the ball well. Nice drive all around by the Middlesex League.
Very impressed with Chris Pizzotti's ability to see the field. He really can find receivers. He's getting good time to throw the football, and that's a combination. It's going to be deadly for the Merrimack Valley, I think.
That's right. Right. The McNeil and Kelly have both shown great speed and the nice ability to make good cuts and to read the defense. And they're getting open in Pizzotti. It's just playing throw and catch.
Kelly lines this one down the middle, and it will go between McCready and O'Donnell for the touchback.
And MVC finds itself in that familiar position, backed up to their goal line, starting on their own 20.
Field position has been a real story, I think, in this football game. Really favoring the Middlesex League, but they've earned it.
Well, let's see if it's Bruce Rich again at the helm, coming in from the sideline. It looks like he's going to run the show. I guess he's going to go. He's going to get a complete game in this one, guys.
This may be Bruce's last game, I think. And I know he's going to Merrimack College. I don't know if he's if football's in his future, if he's a wrestling. You know, he's an excellent wrestler as well.
And if it is, it could be a defensive back, Howie.
Right. He's
McCready tried to turn the corner, but Scott Miller, number 52 out of Reading High School, was there, and McCready wrapped up for a loss.
Second down.
Loss of about 1, second and 11. Pope goes to the far side. Brown and McCready are the running backs. Rich has his man short.
Bobby Brown.
He took a pretty good lick from Kurt Chisholm, but it didn't stop him. Brown kept going, got over the 40-yard line to the 42, and maybe that'll get the MVC a little charged up here.
Right, it might. Bobby Brown came out real hard runner there.
Real speed there.
He did. He may have slimmed down a little bit from the fall with the baseball season, from the spring and the summer, and probably that's what he wants to be in shape for when he gets down to Florida and plays baseball down there. Bobby was one of the fellows that during Christmas break, went to Australia and played baseball.
McCready on the toss sweep. Looked like he was chased down from behind by Mike Hannon, number 1 out of Belmont, who's on his way to Yukon.
You're right, that was Mike Hannon.
Pick up of 2. Second and 8 with 5:35 to play in the third quarter. 28-15, the Middlesex League on top. Delaney near side. Pope, who owns a touchdown catch, is on the far side. Rich finds Cargill, who's had himself a nice little
He's had
game.
a nice little
He's
game.
had an excellent game. I agree with you. He's caught 3 or 4 passes now.
Nice receiver in the tight end position and reads the defense and gets into the little seam. Rich throwing on the run, thread the needle.
Rich, not the drop back passer that certainly Pizzotti is. He likes to throw on the bootleg and rolls out, hides the ball nicely, and a little bit of contrasting styles.
Right. Well, there's probably about a 12-inch difference in height, I think, too.
That's what I meant by contrasting styles.
Well, I was a little blunt there, pardon me, Bruce, but
From the 48, here's McCready. Spins his way out for a couple of yards.
Haven't seen haven't seen Leach now for a while, and wonder if there's anything that is bothering him.
well, this is our first offensive series, so maybe they're going to go
right.
series and alternate series the second half.
Right.
This quarter definitely going a lot faster than the previous 2 quarters. Down under almost to the 4-minute mark.
Rich again on the run, and that one was batted away by Joe Kwiatek. Right defensive end out of Reading High School. Joe had himself a very solid senior season.
Nice play. Got his hands up when he needed to. Timed it well.
And there's a case where size does make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. All right, here we are, 3rd down and 9.
Well, let me put it to you before it happens, guys. Is it 4-down territory here at this stage of the game?
The way that Pizzotti's been throwing the ball, I think that Coach Rich might punt it deep if we don't get the first down here.
I agree totally, Howie. I'd certainly punt the football if they don't get a first down here.
Rally shows blitz, but everyone knows he can't. Backs out. Or he's not supposed to, put it that way. Rich comes short to Leach. And David very wisely went down before Rally put a lick on him. Evan McCullough, number 5.
Bruce was rolling out, and he's talking to Dave Leach. He wanted him to go deeper, and David didn't see him wave his hand, and he came back. And that's why it ended up being a short gain of only a couple of yards.
And it is 4th down, and let's see what it's 4th and about 6. So let's see what
they're going to go for
they're
it.
going for it here.
You got Pope and Delaney to the wide side. You got a trips formation to the right, the defensive right. Leach in the backfield.
Speed option. And Leach will cut it up,
he got it.
and let's see where they mark him down. Looks like he will have it up for the first down.
That's why we announce, guys, and the other guys coach.
Nice timing on the speed option. Good job by the defense. The defensive end closed it down. And did they run a lot of speed option at Chelmsford?
Yeah, Bruce can, Rich, the quarterback, can run the option very well. And obviously with Leach as a pitchback, it was a nice threat to their in their arsenal of offense. And then they also run a trap option where you won't see anybody in the backfield, and Bruce would just step back and they'd pull a guard and trap the end, and he would run it inside. They called it a 16 trap, not really a trap option. And that was successful too. So we may see that a little later on.
Brown is the single running back, and some confusion along the line of scrimmage.
Now Bruce Rich was telling his receivers to get back because they had too many people up on the line like they did earlier in the game, and Bruce called them back, and then the Middlesex League saw that they had a lot of receivers and they didn't have the coverage, and they called a timeout.
2:47 to play, 3rd quarter from Varsity Field in Burlington on a beautiful night. The 11th annual Carole Football Classic. This series is split right down the gut, 5-5. And I tell you, we talked a lot about the pride. It starts, guys, at the kickoff classic breakfast, and there's some pretty good ribbing between Tom Souza and Rocky Nelson. And I am right in the middle of it, and I enjoy every second of it. To listen to these two guys bang heads on each other, it's a lot of fun.
It's a good-natured rivalry.
Absolutely, and as we said, these are two of the best, if not the two best football conferences in Eastern Mass. Hopefully they'll both stay in Division II. I know there's been some talk about some shuffling around with Reading in the Middlesex League dropping down to Division III.
Wow, that's really that's unusual. I think that Reading would definitely control.
I thought it was
Division
already
III.
official, Mike. Is it not official?
It very well could be, Bruce.
Did they move the entire league down to
You're right.
Division III?
Right.
Okay.
I heard that Acton-Boxborough in the Dual County League, or the Acton-Boxborough Conference, as I call them, will go up to Division I as they go straight ahead with some flags on the field.
I don't know what not remembering all that went on with this swapping of divisions. I don't know if the Dual County League is a Division I league, and relative to the winner of the coming out of that and playing in the Super Bowl conference, Super Bowl games, and having to go up against perhaps an Everett or a St. John's Prep. I don't know if that's good for high school football, personally.
I don't think so either. You look at the Division I conferences. You have the GBL,
Right.
Catholic Conference, the Little Three.
Yep, the Little Three.
And
I'm trying to think of the.
is it the?
I want to say Suburban League, but that's not.
No,
that's,
you're going way
I'm
back
going way
now,
back
yeah.
now to the right.
Is
it's now the GBL, right?
Is it, yep. Is that the conference with East Bridgewater, West Bridgewater? Is that conference?
Is it Atlantic Conference or Old Colony or something
I believe
like
it might
that?
be the Old Colony.
Yeah.
We may be dating ourselves once again. If you know, call us, folks. We're struggling here.
Right.
Across the middle, and
Nice
Brown
coverage.
took a look. And those two guys have met helmets a couple times tonight. Chisholm
Well, that's
looks like he's going to get a flag, and again, there's just no need for that.
that might go back to their playoff meeting back in early December.
Yeah, I think there's some leftover rivalry in that one.
Lexington, Chelmsford, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And we did see a flag come in, as Mike indicated, late. We'll see what the call is. It's unsportsmanlike, and you're right, Mike. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is for Kurt Chisholm that no one's going to remember the hit, but everyone's going to remember that he made a poor choice. That's going to move it 15 yards
Yeah.
to the 26-yard line, and I know that his coach, Bill Tye, would not be happy. Bill, one of the great men in the game of high school football.
Yes. Yeah. I thought perhaps Bill would be one of the on the coaching staff this year, where he was the Middlesex League winner or one of the co-champions. But I noticed he's not here. I don't know if he's away or just couldn't make it because of schedule.
He's too smart for all of us. He's
He's a lot smarter than us. Yes. A fine gentleman, Bill is.
Over 50 years of high school football. Unbelievable. McCready is wrapped up after about a yard gain.
Yeah.
While we have a moment, Mike, I'd just like to thank our excellent camera crew tonight, which consists of Kurt Heinreich, and he's doing a job all by himself. And Kurt, you're hanging in there real super for us. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Kurt.
Well, I'm glad that Chelmsford Cable was able to step in and come up big here. We were having some trouble trying to find someone to cover this. It's very important to get this on the air, and I want to thank all you guys from Chelmsford for coming up big. And this has been a lot of fun, guys.
Well,
Brown weaving his way inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Right.
Rally on the stop, and a couple more flags coming in.
Bobby's been belted a few times,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that he's probably getting a little sick of it. But let's see what the assessment is. They're down to about the 9-yard line, are they, Mike?
right, and it was
That
a
play
nice.
has been very successful for the Merrimack Valley tonight. The little bootleg and the dump underpass to Bobby Brown.
Right, to Bobby out of the backfield, and it was a nice throw and catch. But I also got to give credit to Alex Kennedy, the tight end, who came over and made a nice block so that Bobby could plant and cut back toward the middle of the field and pick up that extra yardage. Good job by Alex.
We have a zebra convention at about the 15-yard line, trying to sort things out. And I know Tom Kasperzak, Mike Boyages on the near side, the head coaches, are very unhappy with the way everything has proceeded right here. We need to get control of this football game, guys, on both sides of the field. This one's going to go against the MVC.
All right.
Back to the 25-yard line, and I'm sure Bruce Rich is not thrilled with what's happening as well.
Right. No, he's not happy.
So what would have been a first and goal from the 9 is now turned into a second down and 10 from the about the 25-yard line. So that's a big penalty in this game.
Bruce, it's still going to be first and 10, I guess. The down marker says first down. They just changed the scoreboard.
That's right, Howie. You did get the first down.
35 seconds left in the third quarter as Bruce Rich brings his team to the line of scrimmage with Pope and Delaney as his wideouts. McCready trying to get to the corner. Hallett was the first guy there. I tell you, Hallett's done a pretty good job on both sides of the ball. You don't see that a lot in the All-Star game. Guys playing both ways.
I just realized that he was playing on both sides of the ball, yes.
I tell you, he may be the defensive MVP from the Middlesex League. He's been in an awful lot of tackles.
All right, he has been.
They've got a number to choose from, I think, Mike. They've done a nice job defensively.
Now we're in a little bit of a quandary here, folks, because I have number 37 in the backfield as a fullback for the MVC, and he's not on the roster. He's not, so he may have changed his shirt. I don't know who number 37 is.
The third quarter has come and gone. 11 minutes left in this football classic. 28-15. The Middlesex League on top, and we're going to... All right, we're going to stay on air. They're giving me all sorts of signals. I work by myself, folks. I don't know what any of these hand signals mean, but I guess I just keep on talking, which I'm good at. So,
Yeah.
Mike, I think this is obviously a must-score situation here for the MVC. It's a point in the game where they really need to put some points on the board. They're down by 13. They have time, but they're in a position now where they need to do something.
Right, you're absolutely right, Bruce. I think that the Lions need to put it on the board here. And let's have cooler heads prevail and eliminate the unnecessary penalties. I'm sure penalties are part of the game, but not the unsportsmanlike and the personal fouls. That's not the part of the game we want to see.
And Bruce Rich has gone over the 200-yard mark now in passing, so that's certainly been a tremendous achievement by him. He may be the MVP for the Merrimack Valley, I would think, at this particular point, offensively.
At this juncture right here, I think you're right. And I'm still trying to find out, for those of you at home, who number 37 is. He has a Chelmsford helmet on, and he is playing fullback, but he's not listed on the roster, and I don't know if someone has changed the number or is
Leach is back, and he's going to throw to the end zone, and there's a lot of hand fighting going on as the ball was knocked away. Berman there on the coverage, and was that Delaney as the intended receiver?
Yes, it was. It was Kevin Delaney. This is Kevin's last game. He's going to UMass Lowell, and as most of you know, UMass Lowell has dropped their football program. A
little baseball, I think.
I think Kevin is a baseball player. Yes, he'll be joining some of the other former Lions that are playing.
I think that play was designed
there.
as certainly. Leach was supposed to sell the run, but I don't think he sold it very well in that particular circumstance.
All right, look for Brown out of the backfield here.
Rich along the line for the option. Dishes it to Leach.
Leach gets the first down.
It's the first time I've seen him in person. I tell you, he is very impressive. Got a great burst.
He does. He has he was a pleasure to watch. He was a pleasure to describe some of his runs, some of his pass completions, some of his kickoff returns. He burst on the scene as a sophomore against Lowell and ran 2 or 3 back for kickoff.
Actually, Acton Boxborough, Howie, before that, the first game of the season.
That's
and Lions, the last loss that Acton Boxborough had, in fact, David was really instrumental in that.
You folks home against Acton Boxborough this year? You're on the road?
I think we're home this year. Right, we're home this year.
But the A-Bears are back for one more season,
The A-Bears.
Coach Maver does an unbelievable job with that program. McCready trying to find some room inside, picks up a couple.
I think Coach Maver might be like Coach Kaspazak with the loss of Pizzotti. You might see Maver retire when the A-Bears leave.
Well, he is losing his line coach this year, Howie. His line coach has retired, Larry Spiller.
Oh.
They're going to feel that
Okay.
he did an excellent job with them.
Yeah. Well, that'll be that's become quite a rivalry for a non-league game, the Chelmsford-Acton game.
Call it 2nd and 7. Brown over the top.
That's what they call the Chelmsford offense. They call that the 30 dive, and it's a quick handoff to the fullback, and he just reads the block of the center and cuts either left or right. But the Middlesex League certainly had it clogged up pretty much, and Bobby didn't get much of a read out of that.
3rd down, we'll call it 6. Bumpkins sitting at about the 8-yard line.
Here they are in the stack eye. And there was
Rich
a
has
mix-up
man
there.
open. He'll throw to the end zone, and it's incomplete.
I can't quite
Trying to
catch
pick up
that.
a number
80,
if that's...
I think it's a Haverhill
Is that
helmet.
Dan?
Collins, possibly, from Andover.
Well, I think we're split on this one. I thought it might have been Dan Orlando.
I think it's an 80. It's a Haverhill helmet. Isn't it a gold helmet? Isn't it a gold helmet?
It did look like a gold helmet.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, it is a Haverhill helmet.
Orlando.
Right.
Orlando number 80.
That's correct.
Yeah, Andover. Collins is Andover's got the Navy helmet, I
Right.
believe.
Biggest play in this football game, certainly, right now. 4th
Right
down
now,
and 8. They can get a first down and without scoring a touchdown, but the
All right, you
yard
got
mark is on about the 1.
Leach on the wide out to the right, Brown in the backfield.
Couple of wide receivers near side. Rich on the roll. Gets backside pressure, throws end zone, and it's incomplete. It looked like it was
Somebody just got a hand on there. Was that O'Donnell?
O'Donnell was the intended receiver, and I'm not sure if that was Byrne or Berman on the coverage for the Middlesex League. And a nice drive by the MVC stalls out. But if you want to play the positive side here, guys, field position very tough for the Middlesex League. If the MVC can get a 3 and out,
Right.
they can play deep in Middlesex League territory.
And, Coach Caps.
We call him Kaz because none of
Kaz.
us can pronounce it either.
All right, Coach Kaz, he's keeping with his quarterback rotation. Has Ben Reed in there at quarterback. Burlington.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot about the Pizzotti lineage at quarterback. Ben's brother, I believe it's Tim, played quarterback at Burlington and was also
okay.
an outstanding performer. That was Scott Dyer stacked up trying to go over the right side. Ball came out, but after the whistle.
Now, do you think, Mike, that the Middlesex League might try to run the ball a little more, take a little time off the clock here, seeing that they're backed up where they are?
I'm going to go the other way and think you're going to throw. It took Coach Kaz an awful long time to give Hallett the play, which leads me to believe he's got receivers running all over the place. And Reed had to call a number of patterns.
Tommy's MO is that he will throw the ball anytime, any place, but here Reed's going to keep it, so Howie and I are wrong.
Well, I'm not sure that you were wrong. I think maybe he just didn't find someone, and I'm not positive that they really ran the play that they wanted to run there.
There was a little a mixed bag there. I'm not sure either. We needed to watch the offensive line to see what kind of blocking we were getting, whether it was pass protection or run blocking.
John Dudley, 84, will punch into the lineup for the Rockets. He'll be a tight end. Excuse me, for the Rockets. I'm getting ahead of myself.
We've had a couple of Chelmsford calls here, so it doesn't take long. It's easy to do.
Another big play in this football game, a 3rd and 8.
All right, same formation. I think this might be the play that they wanted to play before.
Reed under pressure. Did it come loose? It looks like it did.
Reed is...
Roddy again? I think that was...
no, it was a Methuen That's number 30.
Taken down by number 30, Derek Hall.
Derek Hall, thanks to Ozzie Julian, the PA announcer, for picking me up on that one.
The Middlesex 40-yard line.
Well, I think the Middlesex League dodged a bullet there, fellas. I think the pumpkin came loose and somebody with a red shirt flopped on it. Otherwise, MVC's in a pretty good position.
Pretty good position,
I don't think Reed saw him at all, and
No.
you're right, Mike. He was very lucky to not fumble that football or have it lost.
All right, Chisholm's going to be punting this one away.
That is Kurt Chisholm from Lexington. Leach waits
Yeah,
just
that's
outside
Leach.
his 35-yard line.
And
And that's an angle kick, an end-over-ender will be picked up by
Oh.
Leach. And he goes north
we
and
have a
south.
flag.
The flag comes in.
Down on the field.
Looked like Kevin Cardarelli, number 22 on the stop.
And that's going to hurt a little bit if it's against the Merrimack Valley, because they would have had excellent field position inside the 35-yard line. And that's going to push them back probably 15 yards to midfield. Which isn't bad, but when you're fighting the clock and your opponent, it hurts.
right. We have 6:26 left in the game.
Ball first and 10 on the Middlesex.
Middlesex League up 28 to 15. The MVC squad had a golden opportunity in their previous possession to come away with a score, and they were unable to capitalize. So now they are working against the clock, as Bruce mentioned.
Yeah, one thing that's nice about playing football in the fall, fellas, the mosquitoes don't come out. We are getting ravaged here.
They have attacked.
Rich across the middle, deflected and incomplete.
That was up for grabs, and number 37 for the Middlesex League, Kevin Galaraza from Stoneham.
He had a lot of green
He had a lot of
grass.
green grass, and he's saying, geez, I just got tipped as he was trying to get a handle on it.
And another flag on the play, guys, and this one again is against the Merrimack Valley Conference for an unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's
A 15-yard step off will bring the ball back to the MVC's 40-yard line.
Well, they went, Mike, from having field position on their own, the Middlesex League 35-yard line. Now they're back to their own 40 in 2 plays. And when you're down by 13 points, it's basic. You can't do that.
let's see, we've got a Delaney in the slot to this side, Leach far right.
Rich back, comes to the near side. O'Donnell gets away
Nice
from
play
one
by
tackler
O'Donnell.
and is bumped out of bounds inside the 45, about the 42-yard line.
Yeah. Nice route there by O'Donnell, and did a nice job of running after the catch.
What impresses me about Bruce Rich, again, guys, I haven't seen him before, is he's very patient in the pocket, doesn't try to hit the home run when it's not there, uses his backs coming out of the backfield, really understands the offense.
Yes, yeah, he has a lot of courage. He stands back there for a long time looking and making a good decision.
Here he steps up and took a shot in the face.
Danny
as
Pope, nice
made an
catch.
unbelievable
What
catch.
a beautiful catch.
At the 20-yard line.
And,
a great throw under duress.
Right, he was so he had people in he was in the grasp of some people when he let that go.
Danny Pope doesn't make a lot of catches, but the ones he makes are spectacular.
They are spectacular. Great concentration. Gets his body in unusual positions to make the catch.
Certainly does, and that got the Merrimack Valley out of a deep hole, and now they're knocking on the door again inside the 20-yard line.
From about the 19, Delaney O'Donnell near side. Brown is the only running back.
Trap option, a 16 trap. There's Bruce Rich.
And he was about to knock it home. And Hallett grabbed him by the ankle and wouldn't let him go. Otherwise, we're changing the board.
Right. And
First and goal now from about the 5-yard line.
it looks like
Looks like
they got it on the 6 on the scoreboard,
6,
so you're right
okay.
in the ballpark, Bruce.
little difficult from our angle to pick up some of the yard lines. Just looking at the official on the near side, he's standing at about the 5.
All right, we got the stack eye here. 3 backs stacked up in an I formation behind Bruce Rich.
Leach with a little hesitation.
And he's in.
Got in for 6.
And that's what they call a crunch 7 is that play. And it's just a man-on-man and a couple lead blockers, and David tries to find some daylight, and he did, and got the score.
Kick it here or go for 2?
You know,
Kick it, right?
I should look.
Kick it.
I'd kick it right here.
Yeah, you're only down 7, and a kick makes it 6, so I think they're going to kick it here.
We'll see what my little trusty card says. When you're down by 6, down by 7, you kick.
And that's what they're doing.
And there it
The
is.
kick is up, and it is good.
Kick is good. And number 2, Carole for score.
We got ourselves a football game, Mike.
Here we are.
Absolutely. 4:41 to play in the football game. There is overtime if we need to go that route.
I was just going to ask if we have overtime.
We got to have a winner in this one,
Okay.
folks. 28-22 is the score, and I think if we were going to look for an over-under in this football game, fellas, coming in, we would have picked a high number. A lot of good offensive kids, a lot of people showing their skills tonight. And, of course, the big uglies always get left behind because
Sure.
they don't put points on the board, but both offensive lines have done a pretty nice job tonight.
Right. It was a nice block on the 16 trap to Bruce Rich.
I think Ronna just called us the big uglies,
The
guys.
big uglies. By
not that
the
big.
left guard
Well, we fell half of it, though.
for us from Burica. I think that was Darvish at left guard, who made a nice block on the 16 trap that Bruce Rich got the
You kick it
first
deep
down
here,
on.
guys.
Oh,
with
yeah,
a
should
weapon
kick
like
it deep.
Faria, I think you kick it deep.
DeMayo bobbles it at about the 2.
55 from Central Catholic in on the tackle. We got a flag.
Polaria from Central makes the stop. As Bruce said, flag on the play at about the 22-yard line or so. Something different for a lot of these guys playing on special teams for the first time. I don't know if it's fun or not, but it certainly is a different experience.
And it's going against the Middlesex group.
Penalty at Middlesex.
And the Middlesex will start from their own 10-yard line, 4:36.
You know, I have to admit, I haven't seen all 11 Carole Classics, but I think you'd have to go some to beat this one. This has been a great football game tonight.
has
A lot of
been.
action, a lot of defense hits. It's been a great football game.
Right, absolutely. There's an excellent play on both sides of the ball, and the kids, you have to give them a pat on the back. 10 practices, working a summer job, and then showing up at 6 o'clock at night at either Woburn High School or Chelmsford High School. I think they practice at Woburn. I don't know where the Middlesex League practice, but I know there's construction going on in Woburn. So.
I thought they practiced here at Burlington. I could be wrong.
They may have been here at Burlington.
Because Conley Stadium is no more. Unfortunately, they're going to be playing on the road for a couple, maybe 3 years.
That's what I heard. That is.
Woburn will be playing here at
the home games are here.
Field.
That's right. This is what is going to be considered their home field.
As Rocky said to me today, all 11 games being on the bus. That's pretty tough for kids, but.
Right.
Here is Dyer trying to get to the corner. And a very nice defensive play by Ravanas coming up and forcing that play back inside and making the tackle.
All right, John.
I think you might see if Merrimack Valley stops them again, you might see them start to call some of their timeouts with 4:18 and counting.
Yeah,
they will. John Ravanas made the stop there. Was a very big cog in the defense of Chelmsford in the regular season. Made some nice interceptions throughout the year. Always seemed to have had to cover the best receivers in a lot of instances and did a good job, and also played a good, strong run support.
Here's another instance where he's doing just that.
This could get picked off.
Pizzotti hit while
threw
he
it away very well. Did an excellent job of throwing the ball away. I think he felt that pressure coming from the backside and just threw it away out of bounds.
Oh, he felt it okay. Jay Stahl made sure that he felt it.
Harvard coaching staff, Hart's got to skip the beat on that,
Right.
I think.
Hand it off, Chris. Hand it off and get to August.
Right. Right.
Well, another big play here for the MVC defense, Middlesex League offense, however you want to look at it. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
Will they go something safe? Well, that's not Tom Kasperzak's MO. He likes to use the field, throw the ball down as McNeil comes to the near side. Ravanis is right there again, covering the best wide receiver. Little razzle-dazzle. Kelly will throw short to Dudley.
And not the first down. They need about 5 yards, I believe. So this is and the punt team is going on the field. So the MVC will have over 3 minutes.
Take a timeout, Howie, to stop that clock and serve a little bit of time.
I don't know if you would have seen that in a regular season game, fellas, but the flea flicker pass from your own end zone, and if Ravanis had another few inches, he might have had himself a pick.
Yes. Yeah. And you got to compliment the receiver. He ran a good route, got into the hole in the defense, and the passer, who's probably not, was it Kelly?
Yes, it was.
Kelly, not a quarterback per se, but did a nice job of delivering the ball in the open area, and compliment to both the receiver and the passer for that.
Just under 3.5 to play, 4th quarter. 28 for the Middlesex League, 22 for the MVC. It'll be a 4th down situation when the Middlesex League comes back to the line of scrimmage. And do we go punt block if you're the MVC, or do you go return?
I go return, Howie, with David Leach.
You got Leach. You always have the threat of him returning it all the way, and I think they should do that. I think the punter is it going to be Chisholm?
Yes, it is.
He's a good punter, and Leach may have a very returnable kick to operate with.
Perhaps if you're Mike Boyages, Tom Kasperzak, you say, Kurt, kick it out of bounds.
That's
and
right.
They get it where it lands. And let's see what happens. High snap handled. And he gets a good one away, goes to the far side. And it takes an MVC roll.
Well, you got 40 yards to go.
Well, you got a short
3
field,
minutes,
38, 39 yards to go. So plenty of time. And with Bruce Rich throwing for over 200 yards, or was that total offensive 200?
220 now, Howie. Yeah.
Okay, Bruce can take advantage of he can throw the out or the comeback route a lot to Delaney, and he has backs out of the backfield, his bootleg expertise. So this could be a very interesting series.
Well, guys, right around the 2-minute mark, if history stays the course, we'll have a timeout, and they will announce the offensive and defensive MVPs. So keep an eye out for that as we have 3:16 left on the clock. Leach to the near side, Brown the lone running back. And here's a trap, and Scott Miller sniffs it out.
He thought that they were hoping to run the quick trap here and try to catch the Middlesex defense in a passing defense. But
And that play has worked successfully throughout the regular season for the Lions, splitting Leach out to the left. I would keep my eye on David. He's single covered out here, and that could be a problem.
Rich rolls the other way and looks for Delaney, incomplete. McNeil on the coverage.
Now we've got 3rd down and 11, a short 12, long 11 to go. And I think Coach Rich is going to have 2 plays to get it. He's not going to. If it were within 3 points, you may have seen Farrier out here for a field goal, but we're not in that situation.
Leach again comes near side. Cargill, the tight end, on the same side. 2 wides to the top of the screen. Rich steps up, throws short, and has Leach.
There's Leach.
And
comes
again,
across.
he showed great poise coming back to the football and got it out of the hands of Kurt Chisholm.
Bruce Rich stayed back, dropped back well, stepped up beyond all the rush and was able to find David coming across.
Boy, how often have we seen that combination in 3 years,
That's
Howie?
right.
And single covering David at this point, I think, is a real gamble.
Right. And you have Danny Pope on this on the opposite side, so they both Pope and Leach are very deep threats.
Pope matched with Delaney this time, and they'll come to Pope, and it is caught
And this
inside
could be
the
the
10,
score
and he's going
right
to go in
there.
for 6. The secondary back gambled, came up empty, and then Delaney
Yeah, nice
with a block
Yep.
gets Pope into the end zone.
That was almost how you draw it up on the board,
That's right,
Howie. The way,
exactly.
And Mike, the way you
Yeah.
did that. But it was a matter of a foot from going the other way for 6 points.
Bruce just had enough on the ball to get it out there before the DB was able to plant and come up and make the interception. And then a nice block by Kevin Delaney to spring Danny in for the score.
And looky here, folks, with
Yeah,
the
my new
PAT.
kicker. Yes.
Right.
Boy,
And who's on the...
Scott Landers, I believe, from Central.
Yes, it is. And it's blocked. And
The ball is live. You might as well pick it up and run with it. And he gets snowed under. Wow.
we could be going overtime, folks.
Wow.
Well, we got a long way to go on this one. We still have over 2 minutes, and with Pizzotti's arm and Reed's arm, you never know what can happen.
I'm not sure who blocked it. There were a bunch of red shirts.
There were some red, more than one.
I'm repeating myself, but this has been one whale of a football
Yeah.
game. I wouldn't want to be picking offensive stars, defensive
No.
stars. They're all playing well tonight.
Right.
It's been a great game.
Well, again, if history continues, I've never been right in picking the MVP on either side. But so I'm going to have to jinx Bruce Rich, I guess. But he would be my pick, followed very closely by Pope, who's had an outstanding game.
Right.
On the Middlesex League side, I'm not really sure, guys.
Right.
It's a pretty tight draw. I like Hallett as a defensive MVP.
I kind of like Kelly. Pizzotti's thrown the ball well, but I like Kelly as far as being an excellent receiver and made
Done a
some nice
great job.
catches.
Pizzotti has certainly been impressive as well.
And this is a booming kick.
Wow.
Well, you know, Bruce, you said it earlier in the game where he is a weapon as a place kicker.
Right. And you can see why he was selected for the team. I mean, he's been a kicker throughout his career and has really got a strong leg. And I wish him well at UMass, at Amherst. I hope that he gets an opportunity to show his leg out there.
Over the years, it's one part of high school football which has improved markedly, I think, is place kicking. It used to be a real adventure at times, and now you have young men that can really drill the ball. How many times in the past do you see guys putting it in the end zone?
Right.
It's a little more common now.
You're absolutely right, Mike. It's a big weapon.
Pizzotti from the gun comes to his favorite target, Del Russo. The pumpkin came out, but the Middlesex League will keep it.
Brian just tried to lateral to the sideline. That was all. It was try to get some
Quickly,
extra yardage.
Howie, from runner, Bruce Rich up to 287 yards now passing. So that's a real impressive performance.
That is an impressive performance by Bruce. He's thrown the ball well in the past, but nowhere near well. He hasn't had the quality receivers to throw to. I mean, I know he's thrown to Leach, but Danny Pope has made some great catches. Kevin Delaney's made some catches, and O'Donnell. So he's had a great army of receivers.
McNeil and Del Russo near side. Pizzotti steps up, has a man, and it's incomplete.
Nate Burdick dropping back from his linebacker spot almost had that picked off as Chris tried to get it into Bellarusso.
That was Del Russo.
Del
and I think if he tries to throw it over the top, then Williams comes and puts a lick on Del Russo.
right?
Yeah, that was a lick. That's right,
Yeah.
Mike. I agree with you.
And Corey was right there, right?
Yeah. Corey Williams has done a nice job defensively tonight for
Yeah.
the MVC.
2:15 left. We are tied at 28. 4 wide receiver set. Bizzotti steps up.
Into
It's a hand fight, and who's got
simultaneous
it?
catch.
If they rule it
Excellent.
simultaneous, it'll
Yeah.
go to the offense.
Excellent catch by Kelly.
Here's your man, Howie.
Number 7. I lean toward Kelly being the MVP in the offensive side of the ball for the Middlesex.
That was a call I'm glad I didn't have to make down on the field.
Right.
Both players, very good fight for that football.
Right.
Timeout at the 2-minute warning here.
And I think that, Mike, I know you mentioned there's a 2-minute warning. They usually make the announcement, but I think that they're going to hold off in this announcement.
Well, I see Rocky Nelson heading from the near sideline to the hash marks, and Tommy Sousa out there as well. And I'm sure Tommy's putting a bug in the officials here, make sure they're not holding our guys.
Well, he comes from the Jack Fletcher School of Coaching, so I'm sure he does.
Are you sure who had that ball? Are you really sure?
And
number 22, Danny Pope.
Danny Pope jumps it on offense.
With the MVP, my streak is alive.
Yeah, your streak is alive.
Sorry, Bruce.
The jinx continues. Mike.
We were half
Corey
right.
Williams, you were half right. Nice call.
Right.
Well deserved by both Danny and Corey. And both Barica players.
That's right.
Both Barica High School players.
Yeah, Bizzotti.
Congratulations to both.
Yes.
And on defense, number 83, Joe Kowalik.
Number 83.
Joe Quietek from Reading, so it's a sweep on both
It's
sides,
a sweep
guys.
on both sides.
Billerica
Two
and
Reading and Barica.
I tell you, Joe Quietek likes this football field. It was here that he made his biggest catch of the year, a 2-point conversion to give Reading a share, or give them a chance to win a share of the Middlesex League Championship.
That's right. That was quite a game. That was something that everyone was looking forward to. The Burlington-Reading matchup. Was it in mid-November? Or?
It was late November.
Late November.
Yep. Just before
the game
Thanksgiving.
before Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it was very similar to what we're seeing tonight.
Yeah.
And that's the last team with it wins it.
Right.
McNeil Delarusso near side. Kelly Martini up top. Bizzotti steps up down the middle. McNeil gets a pop, and this one's going to come back, I think, folks.
Yeah, we have a holding penalty back here, do we?
Ryan Silva put a pretty good lick on, but this one's coming back.
Well, the bug that Tommy put in the official's ear, it seems to have really stayed, I think.
Yeah. And McNeil took a hit for Nod as they ended up giving the ball, or coming back and getting a
Catch he
penalty.
made,
It was an
though.
excellent
Boy,
catch.
Great hit, great catch.
And I think it's nice to see Chris Bizzotti staying in the area, and we'll be hearing his name in the Boston area for the next few years, I'm sure. And he, rather than going out to Iowa or headed down south or whatever, it's nice to have a quarterback of his caliber right here in the Boston area for people to follow the career.
What's overtime like in these games?
Bizzotti with the fake and the draw play to Hallett, and nothing doing.
Now the MVC should be calling timeout.
All right, and that was a tackle by, trying to see.
Wow.
Middlesex called a timeout. And I'm not sure who made the tackle. I can't quite get his number yet. 97, Corey Shagden.
Hey, Corey.
Isn't Corey 94?
Or 90, oh, no, O'Brien.
Kevin O'Brien.
Kevin
right.
O'Brien.
Kevin, yeah.
Pardon me, Kevin. I think I did that during the regular season as well.
I'm sure I did with you.
Timeout taken by the Middlesex League here, guys. The MVC doesn't need to use their timeouts. So I'm telling you, the strategy here is when you have the ball, you can score.
Right.
And,
well, when you're looking, you see that they got second down at about 28 yard line, second and 25 here. Middlesex called the timeout.
Now there's some question on whether there will be overtime or not. I was told previously that there would be. I would hope that there would be. We don't want to go home with a 28 tie.
Coin, right. Well, I don't know who makes the call. Well, they must have obviously had a decision before the game started whether it would be overtime or
I would
not,
think
as far
so.
as a tie. And I can't recall back when in '98 when I was involved in the coaching staff if there was an overtime or not.
Trips to the near side. McNeil, Del Russo, Martini, Kelly on the far side. And here's Pizzotti stepping up. And that pass almost intercepted.
Who was that?
Williams, wasn't it? Closing quickly?
No, it's Ravanis coming across the middle.
Wow.
Made a diving catch there, or diving attempt, and almost had it picked off.
Third and 25. And Tom Kasperzak going to go empty backfield here from, if I can pick up the call.
Yeah, a couple of 5 wides.
What'd he say?
$1:22 to play.
He doesn't sound too optimistic if he's yelling, "Punt team, be ready." I'm surprised at Coach Kaz for doing that.
Well, it's third down, and they're 20 minutes away by phone, so you have to be prepared. Pizzotti down the middle. Martini.
Don't think he caught that.
No, trap.
So now it's going to be a punting situation, and here's where you have a decision whether you come after him or not. I think, might let David touch the football.
Yeah, I would do the same. I would.
Do a punt fake.
I'd like to see the front 5 or front 7 keep them in, hold the man up, prevent the coverage from getting downfield, give David a chance to field it.
I'm looking for about a 45-yarder out of bounds from Chisholm myself, but that's we're on opposite sides of the fence here.
I think so. The Hatfields and the McCoys.
A little more friendly than that.
And there's a good kick.
Chisholm with a nice kick. And that'll hit and roll in favor of the Middlesex League down at the 26-yard line.
Excellent
Talk
job.
about dialing one up when you needed it, right?
There he was.
That was a great kick. Great call by Mike and a great kick.
Yeah. All right, 26-yard line, 1:03 left in the game. Tied score 28-28. Can't get much better than this.
No, you really can't.
About 50 yards, and that most of it was in the air.
Yeah.
But guys, going back through my memory here about the stats of the Carole Classic, I would be hard-pressed to think that anybody's had more yardage passing than Bruce Rich. He's had an unbelievable evening, and he is very, very impressive. He has not taken a backseat to anybody from the Middlesex League, and he'll try to wedge one right up the middle.
Yeah.
And certainly not to take anything away from Dan Pope, but I didn't get a vote, as you said, but it would have been for Bruce Rich. He's just had an outstanding, as both of them have, an outstanding game.
And during the regular season, Bruce had some excellent games, and then they pulled him out so that he wouldn't get that kind of yardage, and Chelmsford used their younger players. Another Rich, by the way, Eddie. But Bruce has done a wonderful job tonight, and Danny Pope did as well, both deserving, and I think that it was nice. It was a tough decision. I'm glad we didn't have to do a vote.
Well, I've been lobbying for one for years. It hasn't gotten me very far. A quick pop out to Leach. And he could pop this one, boys.
And Bruce is, David.
Inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Just a long handoff
I was
out to
waiting to
Leach.
see that, the 48 bubble. They call that 48 bubble. And,
How would you like to be the Merrimack coaches looking for 4 more years out of David? He's a player.
Yeah.
Plays much bigger than his size.
Yes. Yeah. That was a excellent call by Coach Rich. Good throw by quarterback Rich. David on the catch and the run.
We call that a lateral, guys? Pass. I think he
that
might
is
have
a
been,
lateral, yes.
Yeah, I thought it was back maybe a step.
They consider it a lateral.
Right.
The other one you might see, you got to watch for the skip where Bruce Rich skips the ball off the ground and then it's caught and then thrown.
Here is Rich coming to the near side.
Danny Pope on the out.
And he is there with his money man, Danny Pope.
Now you got to start thinking about Ferrier's range.
There you go. You're absolutely right. 49 seconds, 2nd and 5. Another first down puts him very close to his range. The key, I think, though, has been the long snap. That's been the problem, I think, even on the extra points, unfortunately, tonight. But hopefully they can get a good snap if they need to.
Leach near side. Rich rolling away. And I believe it was Collins as the intended receiver, a little bit too tall.
All right.
I'd come right back with that same play, Howie, and Bruce had the corner that time. He had plenty of room if he wanted to keep it, and he could have gotten himself out of bounds, I think.
Or get the first down and then step out or whatever. He's got 5 yards. He had Bobby Brown as a personal blocker in front of him, so they may come back to that. And then being a true running back, receiver, David Leach came back in the huddle and was saying, I was open over the middle. He was calling for it as he came back. Well, there's David's single coverage out there now.
Pope Delaney near side, Leach far side. Rich, the quick pop.
David with his patented spin move that he's done. There's a first down and then some.
39 seconds left to play and well within field goal range.
They're getting into their 2-minute drill right here now. Yep.
And they will go with a timeout.
Yeah, some people were calling the 2-minute warning, a 2-minute drill, and other people were standing around in the huddle. So I think it was good that they called a timeout and get organized here. And definitely Farrier, I see him warming up in the background behind the bench.
We've got Bruce Rich now up over 300 yards, Howie, in passing, and that's extremely impressive. His second half has been an excellent second half.
It has been. He's been a pleasure to watch.
Ronna said she might be wrong, but we've known her to never be wrong, correct?
We wouldn't go on there and saying that she was wrong. I don't think we'd ever say that in public, within earshot of Ronna anyway.
In all the years at the Carole Classic, it's never been won on a field goal in the last seconds. We've had a lot of great things happen. We could be seeing history again this evening. 39 seconds left. We are deadlocked at 28 in what has been a great football game up and down the field. It's been fast break football, kind that the very good crowd on hand has enjoyed. People started to file out a little bit, and I don't understand if you're going to pay for your ticket, stay till the end, folks.
Yeah.
Rich backpedals, and he is snowed under.
Well, he was looking for Danny Pope on the out. There was good coverage by number 37 for Middlesex. And who might that be, Mike?
That is Galarraza, number 37.
He was right there in good coverage, and that's why Bruce had to eat the ball, and he did the right thing. He killed the clock there. 4th down.
Now they're back field position-wise. They're back about the 39-yard line, and this I certainly don't believe is within Farrier's range.
No, that's
So that was a
39,
big play.
49 plus 7. You're looking at a 56-yard field goal with the wind. I'm looking. The flag is blowing pretty well, but that's still a long range.
You can see that flag?
I can see that flag. You can see that flag from 128, I think.
Rich fires incomplete.
Leach coming across the middle.
Just a little bit behind. It looked like Evan McCullough, number 5 out of Stoneham, had
it
the
looked
coverage.
like Bruce Rich had some room to run to set up the field goal.
Yep.
But, hey, it's easy from up here.
11 seconds left, and it's
And here comes
it could be
Farrier.
field goal time. Farrier on the field.
This would be a shot heard around the world, wouldn't it?
And I don't see a holder, so I don't. Well, unless
He's going to drop kick it.
no, Cargill was called timeout, so maybe he may be the holder for Julio here. So we'll see.
I thought we were going way back and try to drop kick.
Yep. Where's Adam Vinatieri when you need him, right?
This would be about a 55-yarder. Is that correct? And
I think
again,
so.
with the wind. If I'm on defense, I let them kick this one and play
and just
stop
watch.
the fake.
Right.
I would think that they if he can kick it that far, congratulations. But I wouldn't want him to get beaten on a fake field goal.
You know, the other thing, Bruce, is as they were huddling up and Farrier was back, I didn't see a tee.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cargill had it in his hand or Farrier doesn't use one. Perhaps that might be the reason why some of the PATs have been blocked too, because he hasn't got it up quickly. But I don't see a tee. No, he doesn't use a tee. That's the.
He's digging a hole out there. Yeah.
Coach Ed Gillis, the AD here at Burlington, may not like that hole being dug. But we'll see. Maybe that's where he's going to plant his foot. He's definitely.
Howie, I gotta believe that this is a fake. I just really don't think they're going through all emotions.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well,
I'd let him try it.
I
We'll see.
would. Well, let's see. I don't see any of the usual characters in there. I don't see Leach. I see Bobby Brown on the wing, but I don't see some of the cast of characters that would be in there for a fake.
Well, Mike Boyagis, the defensive coordinator of the Middlesex League, is taking the timeout.
He's letting him think about it. He's using the strategy that they're trying to get one more commercial in there as they do on TV, you know, in the National Football League. We'll take a timeout for one more commercial, but not here, folks. We're not going anywhere.
And once again, Howie, just thanks to Kurt Heinrich for an excellent job tonight.
Yeah.
He's manned that camera and done a great job for us, and we really appreciate everything he's done.
Is there anyone you want to say hi to, Kurt?
Just all my friends, family, and all my relatives watching the game.
Thanks, Kurt.
McNeil waits in the end zone as Ferrier lines it up. Collins will hold.
And this can be returned, right? So we got to cover.
McNeil coming to the near side. Still on his feet. And he'll be taken down at about the 48-yard line.
No time left
as
on the clock.
time runs out.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't like this, folks.
You know, this might be a good game to end 28-28.
Right.
Yep. Might be a way to end it.
Well, hopefully the officials and the coaches will get this baby sorted out. I tell you, Chris McNeil put a thrill in it for a second.
He certainly did. As time expired, you know, Farrier's kick had plenty of leg. It was just low, but it was definitely had enough if he had gotten it
I
up.
think he tried to drill it, Howie, because he knew how far he had to go.
Right.
Had to try to keep it low and power it.
And to see him not using a tee, I'm surprised. I just didn't catch
Very
that
unusual.
in the earlier part of the game. Because Chris certainly has a great leg, as we've seen in the kickoff when he did use the tee.
Rocky Nelson, the game coordinator, out talking with the officials.
Right. And,
trying to get this sorted out. We hope there will be an overtime, but we hope it will be with cooler heads and football as
I think
the main idea here.
I'm not sure if Coach Nelson, you know, it's been a very good game with a lot of good plays on both sides, and I wouldn't want to see it deteriorate. And you never know in the overtime. I'm not for the overtime based on the way it's ended.
Well, Tom Sousa, Rocky Nelson, and a couple of the officials out near midfield, and it could just be a meeting to say, all right, here's how we're going to do overtime.
It looks that way.
Or a meeting to say we're not going to do it.
Right.
I saw someone waving their arms in sort of a wave-off fashion, but I don't know if that referred to
Now I see
cancellation.
captains going out, so for a coin toss. So I think there is going to
Yeah,
be.
there is. Looks like there is going to be. Now the strategy, if you win the toss, is to go on defense. Is that correct?
That's been the thinking in the past, or at least in the previous playoffs that we've seen, Bruce. So we'll see what they want to do here.
Well, the 11th annual Carole Classic goes to overtime, the first OT we've had.
Maybe we should explain briefly, Mike. Why don't you give our viewers a little bit of a rundown on overtime?
Well, if it scheduled the way it has in years past, they're going to start, I believe, from the 25-yard line, from the 20-yard line. And you're going to get an opportunity to get a first down. If you score, then the other team has an opportunity to score. And we're just going to keep on doing it,
Right,
fellas.
that's right.
Unlike the Super Bowls of years past, where you could actually end in a tie.
Right. It's not sudden victory.
It is
as
not
they
sudden
say.
victory. No, it is not.
And the Middlesex League did win the toss, and they have elected to go on defense. It'll be interesting to see now where they do place the football, if they put it on the 20 or they take it down to the 10.
Well, let's see. The down indicator will be he's walking past the 20, so perhaps it's going to be the 10. Yeah, it looks that
It
way.
looks like they're going to put it at the 10-yard line. Now, the MVC had their option which end they wanted to play at, and they're going to play at the end, 2 hour left.
And that was with the wind, so unless they've decided, and I think in Super Bowl, Bruce, didn't they use the same end for both teams?
They use the same end
so
for both
maybe they're going to do that here, too.
How many timeouts allowed?
I hope you brought enough tape, Kurt, to get this whole game, right?
Don't run out now.
Don't run out now, right?
I don't know who's happy here, the players or the mosquitoes.
I know.
We're going in over.
Yeah, the Mosquitoes are undefeated here, Bruce.
Right.
From the 10-yard line is where Bruce Rich and the MVC offense will put it in play. And
Well, let's see.
the Merrimack Valley Conference has had a much better offensive surge in this second half.
Yes.
They played much better on offense. The Middlesex League really has not found their rhythm here in the second half.
It's just the opposite. I was just going to say that the MVC offense has found the rhythm, both
They had
running
everything
and
but a
passing.
football, Howie. They were ready to go, but no football.
All spectators, please stay off the line, please. We're going to run you over.
Well, here we go, the stack eye, the unbalanced to the right. Middlesex hasn't noticed it yet, I don't think. They ran back to the short side. Leach breaks it to the outside, picks up about 5.
He ran through the tackle of Kurt Chisholm, and Leach looked like he had a little hitch in his giddy-up as he went back to the huddle, perhaps a
Oh,
cramp.
yeah, it could be. It is humid.
He's favoring his right leg just a little
They're only
bit.
giving him 3 yards.
Yeah, he's stretching it out. His calf is probably cramped up. And he's a warrior, as they say.
This is a boy that had his spleen taken out about 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he's out there fighting for every yard he can get. And he is holding that leg now.
Yeah,
a little bit.
he's got another cramp.
Leach running behind the Bill Ricka side of the offensive line.
A wise decision, I think. Whitman and Darvish. I would think Coach Rich would want to do that again. And he's had a couple of horses leading through. Bobby Brown is one of the upbacks in the eye, and I don't know who the. And they go the other way with Bruce Rich on a quarterback sneak for a score. Excellent job. And we have a flag. And I don't know what this is for.
Well, I think if this was not following some of the actions that's happened earlier, this is a no call, but there was a little tangle between one of the offensive linemen and the cornerback.
Oh.
And I think they're just trying to keep control here,
Yep.
and they threw the flag.
Yeah, that was after the play, and I totally agree with you, Mike. If other things hadn't transpired earlier, that would have been a no call, but they want to make sure they
Yeah.
maintain control. That's
Personal
exactly
foul on the
right.
Lions, so the penalty is going to be on the extra point attempt.
Which could be a big factor later on down
You said
the
the
road
Rockets.
here.
You said the Rockets. I just said the Lions. So
you know.
we're even, Mike. Here. It's
I guess we're allowed that
MVC.
after a few years of
Yeah.
doing this.
You're right. When you see Bruce Rich score, and you say, "Well, it must be the Lions," but it isn't.
So we're going to test Mr. Ferrier here, I believe.
I guess so.
If he is the kicker.
He is in there.
Yep, he's the kicker. No tee.
And see where he
no
digs his
tee.
hole this time. It looks like at about the
25.
25-yard line, excuse me. A little high
It
on the
looks
snap,
good.
and the
A
kick
little bit.
is
Oh, it is good.
good.
All right.
Wow, that was a great hold by Williams, I believe, and
Was it
to get
Williams?
that snap down, and a great kick by Farrier.
And that was an excellent snap, and I don't know if it was Kenny.
35-yard extra point.
Is that Kenny Higgins? Was he the center there?
It has been all night.
Okay,
so
so
I
that
would
was a
think
great
so.
snap by Kenny there in a very crucial time. That was a pressure snap. So it forces Middlesex League to score and either kick or bite the bullet and go for two. And they are staying at the same end of the field.
And Chris Pizzotti will be the quarterback. MVC playing with the lead for the first time this evening, and it's in overtime, and there's no better time to play with the lead, is there, guys?
That's no better time. It's been a long uphill battle for the MVC to get there.
You got a bunch to the right. Pizzotti on the roll, fires to the back of the end zone looking for Dudley.
Double coverage there. See, Ryan Silver was one of the defenders, and I can't.
I don't know if that was Williams.
I think it was Williams. Was it number?
Looked like number 10, having a little difficulty picking out the number on the far side of the
That's a
field.
green helmet. It's hard to see if that's a green helmet or a navy helmet. It was
I
Williams.
think it was Williams.
It was Williams. Yeah, he's been on that side all night. Where is Delarusso? Is on the back side here. Here's a sweep
Dyer on the toss.
and a big
And
hit
nothing
there.
doing. Well, the Middlesex League is going to have a third and goal from about the 10-yard line, and they will take a timeout here.
So they're 2 plays away now. Obviously, they would go on 4th down, and they've got 10 yards to go, maybe a little bit more, and it's just about the 10-yard line. Defense for the Merrimack Valley, as you would expect, is fired up.
Yeah, they're stepping up right here. Let's see. Pizzotti and crew can keep this game going.
Well, it has been a beauty, probably the best I've seen in this 11-year run. It's a 5-5 series, split right down the middle. I tell you, there's no better way to break the tie than in overtime.
Right.
Guys, while we have a moment, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come up and work with the staff here at Chelmsford Cable. It's been a real good time. I've really enjoyed it, and I think we've done a pretty good job.
We've enjoyed having you, Mike. Maybe we can get to do this again sometime.
Next year would be good as Pizzotti steps, fires. It is broken up, and they're going to call pass interference. And let's see.
The ball was tipped over the middle by Burdick, number 33. So I think they can. They should be able to waive this penalty off.
Again, the Zebras will meet, and we'll see what's up.
But
and they're going to call it interference.
Wow. Because that ball was thrown very hard by Pizzotti, but Burdick over the middle, number 33, the linebacker, did tip it. And they didn't. Now we got, and they're calling that a first down as well, right?
Right. So interference in the end zone. I believe that's placed at the 2-yard line.
That was a very crucial call, obviously, but I did think the ball was tipped, but from this distance, very hard to tell.
Yeah.
A power I formation. Dyer is the deep man. Dyer going left. He is in for the touchdown.
All right.
So it's going to be on the right foot of Ryan Kelly as he heads to the field.
How'd you like to be the kicker now? The snapper and the holder.
Snapper.
Right.
I'd like to be the kicker because I'm only going to kick it.
Right.
I don't have to snap it. I don't have to catch it. I don't have to hold it.
You know, fellas.
Give credit to the Middlesex League. We could be here all night, Mike.
You've got.
Where's Bud Selig when you need him?
Right where he should be. Pizzotti is the holder. The boys do not think that they won't fake this. A nice snap.
And that's through.
Kelly just politely,
very casual,
knocks it through.
Nice snap, nice hold, good kick.
The advantage of being 6'6", Chris Pizzotti.
Right.
And the Middlesex League defense will trot out.
I don't know how many plays offensively the Merrimack Valley has run, but as Ronna just pointed out, Bruce Rich has engineered every one of them. He's got to be a tired young guy right now.
Yes, he does.
He will sleep well tomorrow.
Toss the coin again?
Oh, yeah, well.
I think so. I think you have to toss it one more time.
Okay.
Yeah. Glad they kept the coin. Huh?
Yeah, this is interesting.
I was talking with Diamond Tincher, our game representative, who flipped the coin at the beginning of the game, and she said actually she whiffed on it and barely rotated, just fell off her hand, and they just took that as, okay, that's the game.
Okay. Well, what do we got here now?
I think the Middlesex League is going on offense first this time. If I'm correct, I think they won the toss. The Merrimack Valley won the toss.
Okay.
So they're going on defense again.
Please push back. Get results to the stand. Please push back. Thank you.
I've got to go back to Ed Gillis, the AD from Burlington. He probably said, "Geez, you can use my field, but let's not dig it up." Well, here we are in overtime for the first time ever, and
This field will get a lot of use next fall, as we mentioned.
and that's right, as you mentioned, Woburn and Burlington. So it's going to see 11 games anyway. So this
Not
is
to mention JV games,
and
or
JV
freshman
and
games, or
freshman
anything
games,
else. Yeah.
perhaps field hockey as well, and soccer. I don't know if they do that here, but it looks that way from the crossbars.
Pizzotti back with time now. Sprinting to his right, fires.
Out of
and
bounds.
is incomplete. Looking for McNeil.
Yeah.
And who is that on the coverage? Is that Williams once again?
Yeah, that was Williams.
Williams, the defensive MVP for the Merrimack Valley Conference, and he's done a terrific job here in overtime as well.
These athletes in great shape, but they're being tested right now, both sides.
Oh yeah, this is an endurance test now. It's the humidity and the fatigue. I mean, yes, they had 10 practices, but they're certainly not in the game condition of a end of a season playoff.
Pizzotti fires end zone. Caught. Touchdown. DeMaio. Great coverage.
Great coverage. Pizzotti thread the needle. DeMaio stretched out, made the catch.
That was a great catch. Great pass. Great catch.
Well, we said it one time earlier today. It's just a great football play. Everybody
Right.
did a pretty
Everybody
good
did
job.
what they were supposed to do. It's the way you draw it up, defensively and offensively. All right, now is Coach Kaz deciding whether to go for two.
Howie, I honestly don't know if in this point they have to go for two or not. That may be
that-
part of the
that's
rules,
right,
and
it may
I
be.
quite honestly I'm not sure.
I believe you're right, Mike. I know in college it's after the third, but I think in high school it's on the second. I think you have to
After
go
the
for
second
two.
score, you've got to
Yeah.
go for two on the PAT.
I'd like to see them change the rule in college that they move the ball further back to start, because there are way too many games that are going way too long.
Right, all right.
Not that anybody cares about my opinion about that, but I throw it out there. 41-35 is the score right now. The Middlesex League just scored another touchdown. They're going for the extra point.
What is that? Some announcement to please send some food up? Is that what he was saying?
That's exactly what Ozzie Julian, who is the boy. Oh, bug spray.
Bug
Okay.
spray.
No one knows you. I thought he probably would say food, but he's the voice of the Carole Classic. Does a great job. Donates all his time. We're happy that Ozzie's here with us once again as Pizzotti goes from the gun. And he goes underneath and it's incomplete. Martini was the intended receiver, I believe. He could not hold on. So the door is open for the MVC.
Wow.
Can anybody say a tie at 41? It could possibly be.
The odds are definitely not in the offensive favor when you're going for 2 points as opposed to the kick. So it could be 41.
Now, one thing I've noticed here, guys, is this game has progressed into overtime. The benches have been shortened. We are seeing a lot of the same folks on the field. The rotation has gone away.
Right.
Benches have moved, Mike. They're closer to the end zone.
All right, they're right at the 25-yard marker, I suppose, where they can't go beyond that.
Crowd lining the field, and is it a delay of game, perhaps?
What's a flag on the field? What?
Flag coming from
The back judge?
Yep,
What
the
is
back
this?
judge in the secondary.
This could possibly to move people
Illegal substitution
Substitution again.
against the defense.
Wow, that's going to make it 1st and 5.
Middlesex.
Yeah, that's a big penalty.
Now it's from the 5. Wow. All right.
So the Middlesex League will send one to the sideline. Only in Canada will that work, fellas. But I tell you, the Merrimack Valley has an opportunity here, boys.
Yes, they do. Well,
1st and goal from the 5, and they've been awfully efficient in the second half.
yeah. Let's see what.
Taking your time in the huddle. You don't want to delay a game penalty to give it right back to them.
And I don't see. I see Joel McCready in at the tailback spot. Leach may have those cramps.
And they go to McCready. And Scott Miller there for the stop.
Excellent play by Miller. Penetrated and made the play in the backfield.
And number 52, Scott Miller.
And apparently Scott has a big cheering
I
section
think
on
so.
hand. Scott, one of the 6 captains of the Middlesex League, on his way to Bentley College next year. As we look down the roster, Bentley and Merrimack have done an awful lot of good recruiting with these two conferences.
Absolutely.
Leach is back in the football game.
Okay.
And it's about 8 yards to go now for a touchdown, and he's going
out
wide to the right.
And you have Pope to the left with Delaney in the slot.
Rich under duress, and down he goes. Jonathan Boyer dry, his 2nd sack. He also has a fumble recovery to his credit.
Right, excellent play. Hey, look, he came in untouched. I don't know if there's a breakdown in the blocking scheme, but Bruce was rolling right. The lone setback went left, and Bruce had nobody there to avoid.
Boy, they've gone from a 1st and 5 now to a 3rd and about 16 for the score. Big turnaround.
Pope goes to the far side, Delaney near side. Split backs. Rich back to throw, looking for Leach, who
He's
made
got
a
him.
great adjustment to
And
the
he's
ball.
in for a score.
They're going to mark him down short of the
There's
goal
got people
line.
putting their hand. No,
They're
short
going to say short. They're going to say he's marking it.
with the knee.
Yeah. You're right, Mike. That was a tremendous adjustment to make that catch. This has got to be about the 1 foot line. Timeout
Middlesex.
by
Timeout.
Merrimack Valley.
Merrimack Valley.
And let's also give Rich credit for another terrific throw. Had the defender with his back to Rich, you knew if he throws it to the outside shoulder, you're not going to be able to turn and find the ball.
Right.
And you've got confidence in your receiver. You've been playing with him since who knows how long.
Yeah. Perhaps Pop Warner, at least since freshman year.
If history serves correct, Howie, this is a quarterback sneak. From this position on the
Right,
field,
you
this is
have,
what Coach Rich likes to do.
Just eliminate penetration. Darvish and Whitman on the left side. That's where I would tend to go. You may see him come out unbalanced to the right just to try to get some, create a hole over the center in the A gap, the left center guard gap.
So as my old coach Bill Carole used to say, give it to the best athlete. And Bill, being a former quarterback, would say, we'll run a quarterback sneak here.
Well, with Bruce being as close as he is to the goal line, I think that's the way to go. If we can, we've got to get a line surge by the
How many big
MVC.
plays in this football game have we seen tonight?
That is too numerous to mention. I don't think we can do justice to all of
I
them.
don't think we can do a recap real quickly.
Well,
Here we go.
Fourth and goal. Rich goes with a
He's
quarterback sneak. And he got a good surge, and he'll go in for the touchdown.
He picked the hole right behind Whitman and Dervish. And Rob Palumbo, I believe.
Boy, did the MVC dig themselves out of a hole there.
Yeah. And they have to go for 2, right? They're
Two
tied.
TDs for Bruce Rich in the overtime, thanks to Runner. And
Okay.
can we have a revote? Two-point conversion.
Let's call the trophy company up and engrave a couple more and just spread them around. Spread those plaques around.
Now I gotta believe this is some type of option here, Howie. Pass run option for Bruce Rich.
They got another back. They're coming out in the stack.
Yep.
They're going to come out in the stack eye. They're not going to spread them. So it could be a crunch. It might be a crunch 7 over here to the left behind. Now they're a little confused.
This one's for the win.
Oh, it's crunch 6.
Rich throws. Brown's got it. And the MVC.
I didn't see who it was who made the catch.
I think it was Brown. I'm not sure.
Was it Bobby Brown out of the backfield? A little flood pattern out of the stack.
And the MVC on the 2-point conversion from Rich to Brown wins it 43-41. Wow.
What a game.
Wow is right. I think that's the adjective, Mike, and congratulations to both football teams, coaching staffs. This was a game I'm really glad I had a chance to see. Great football game.
It was an excellent football game, and kudos to both teams and players, coaching staffs. They put on a great performance for the fans, for the people that will get a chance to watch this tape. And again, we thank you very much for the performance that you put on tonight, players and coaches.
Well, the real winners here, guys, are the Carole kids. A lot of money raised tonight, and we'll continue the fundraising efforts. These gentlemen took the challenge not only on the field, but off the field as well. And
absolutely
very proud of the performance they put out tonight and the way they've handled themselves. Just an absolutely brilliant football game.
And Mike, for Bruce and I, it was a real honor to do the game. We enjoyed doing this. It's just been a terrific venue, as you mentioned, Varsity Field here in Burlington, and great crowd, excellent plays, just terrific.
Just quickly, Bruce Rich, well over 300 yards passing. David Leach came back very strong second half, over 75 yards in rushing. And the statistics for the Middlesex League, certainly Pizzotti had an outstanding football game, and his wide receiver, whose name is Kelly, I believe, one of them McNeil, the other one, just outstanding games that they had. Leach, total of 93 yards on the ground, and he really came back strong. Mike, it's been a real pleasure to have worked with you. We certainly hope we can do it again. And I wish you weren't down in Reading, because we'd love to have you join us and as part of our team. You probably get the big bucks, Mike, that I know we all get doing this. But boy, it's been fun tonight.
Oh, it's been an absolute blast. Gentlemen, anytime, any place, just give me a call. I'll be happy to help you out. I say we do it right here again, or up and roll next year.
I totally concur. And once again, to Kurt Heinrich, deepest thanks. Without him, it wouldn't have been possible, and he just did an outstanding job. For Ronna Berman, for Howie Neal, for Mike Maserati. Mascarello. I'm getting there. We just really enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and same time next year. Good night, everyone.